Chicago, and London. Travel in style with transportation, a pregame party, and game tickets to enjoy the Birds on the road this season with Fans of Philly. The official travel partner of 94 WIP and the Eagles Radio Network. Book now at fansofphilly.com. That's fans with a PH of Philly.com.
Air conditioner, oh air conditioner, will you make it through the summer? If you don't, it'll be a bummer. Start your spring off right. We got huge rebates if that budget's tight. This is Jonathan Cans, and I am not a poet. I am, however, the third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. We are the mainline's oldest family-owned HVAC company, and we are not private equity-owned. But we are experts in rebates, big ones. And right now, there are up to $2,300 in rebates available. Contact us at marvinecans.com. That's marvinekans.com.
PNC Bank loves an exciting game, but they also think a little boring can go a long way. You see, boring banking means you're doing the right things. That's why PNC leaves the third and long to the professionals. Reliable fiscal strategies are more in their zone anyway. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
When the doctor informed me that I had to be transplanted, I froze. I was in shock.
Mr. Gatling was on dialysis. He had end-stage kidney failure. Transplants are some of the most complex procedures in medicine.
I received a kidney transplant at Virtual Health.
We are the only transplant center in South Jersey.
I can stay in my own backyard. I thank them for keeping me alive.
Virtual Health, the only transplant center in South Jersey. Here for good. Learn more at virtua.org.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Chicago happening now, crowds gathered for the dedication ceremony of the Obama Presidential Center. Former President Barack Obama says America, as it marks its 250th anniversary, he hopes the center will remind people how precious democracy really is, referring to the founding fathers and what they crafted.
In the newly independent United States, there will be no kings or lords, no serfs or subjects, but only citizens. Each of us free to pursue our own version of happiness and able to determine our collective fate through an elected representative government. It had not been done.
Former Presidents Biden, Bush, and Clinton and former First Ladies also attending the ceremony. Talks are set to resume between the U.S. and Iran after signing the Memo of Understanding. President Trump in a social media post says the memo with Iran has oil flowing again, and he vowed Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Vice President J.D. Vance at a briefing pushing back on criticism that Iran gets to sell oil and possibly receive access to billions in frozen funds.
You know, I've seen skeptics of the deal. People say the Iranians will never change their behavior. Well, maybe that's true, and if so, they don't get any of the benefits of the bargain. But isn't it worth trying?
Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle raising questions after nearly $400 million from the One Big Beautiful bill was moved to fund White House security needs. It comes amid a push to build a ballroom that could involve taxpayer dollars.
The $397 million was quietly transferred to Secret Service accounts over the past week for White House security measures. When asked by ABC News what the money is for, a senior administration official didn't mention the ballroom project, saying only that the money from last year's One Big Beautiful bill will be used on necessary security upgrades to the White House complex, including a new visitor screening center.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy, you're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the secret war on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
Severe flood risk remains in the south as Tropical Storm Arthur wreaks havoc along the Gulf Coast states. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z has more.
It has been a wreck in New Orleans overnight. So much lightning and tornado warnings. Also, rainfall rates more than a half foot per hour. That is so hard to do. The atmosphere is just pouring, and that's why we see a rare high risk level 4 out of 4 in parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Florida Panhandle today, but a significant flood risk that goes all the way up to Atlanta.
Arthur, the first named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. The English men's national soccer team opening its 2026 World Cup play with a 4-2 victory over Croatia at Dallas Stadium yesterday, but it is what happened before the match that got the attention of police.
The Londoner pub in Dallas has become the favorite gathering spot for English fans to watch the matches played in nearby Arlington. Before the Three Lions played Croatia, Dallas police were called when the Brits got too rowdy. The England fans reportedly drank 5,000 beers at the Londoner, draining the taps, tipping over tables, but spending more than $40,000 before they were kicked out. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Fun also in New York City today. Tens of thousands of fans turning out to celebrate the NBA champions, the New York Knicks, cheering along the ticker tape parade, including the Canyon of Heroes. The first time in more than 50 years the Knicks hold the title. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Weather sponsored by H&K Group Incorporated.
It'll be windy for the rest of the day. Overnight, we're going to get down to around 65. Tomorrow, high 83, not quite as humid. Saturday, mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 83. Sunday, 84. Sunshine, some clouds possible for Father's Day. Monday to start the work week, high 77.
Start your new career with H&K Group Incorporated. H&K Group wants to offer you the opportunity to be part of the industry leader. 80 locations across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Visit hkgroup.com and apply today. H&K is an equal opportunity employer.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
You've got bikes, you've got scooters, you've got delivery drivers, now we have robots. What does it say about a city? And I get it, this is the direction of technology. All of the extra technology that's moving as you're trying to move in an already congested city, I think there's going to be a lot of pushback and resistance to the robots here in Philadelphia. Short of the bougie crowd that's going to love it in and around Market and Chestnut.
Send me my Chipotle.
Yes.
Oh, there's a robot from Uber. Like, are we that lazy?
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app. WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. Lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
Oh yeah, Philadelphia Freedom. I'm back. Pack is back. I know you guys missed me. I know it. Justin and Matt They were distraught all night. They kept texting me saying, Pack, we're going to come in early for you. Matt just literally snuck in the door about a second ago. And I know our listeners all night have been getting texts and emails. Pack, we loved you. Actually, this was one Facebook comment from Chrissy. She really enjoyed the show yesterday. But, hey, I'm happy to be back. Double pack, back-to-back pack. All right, I'm going to stop with the pack jokes, all right? But I am live in studio because on the afternoon show on 1210 WPHT, we don't phone it in. I am live in studio in Philadelphia where it started. This is it. This is freedom. This is where it started. 250 years. And it feels really, really, really good to be here. I'm wearing my Liberty Bell shirt. Nobody said anything. You guys, you don't miss. Well, you miss a lot. But I got my Liberty Bell shirt on. It's a golf shirt. I don't golf like Nick Cale does, but it's a golf shirt. But the Liberty Bell. We're going to talk about the Liberty Bell because I have some really intelligent guys with Justin and Matt here. Who made the Liberty Bell for us? Either you guys know? Don't Google it. Okay, stop typing. I see they're typing in front of the screens here.
No, I'm not typing the answer. Matt just wanted to know where my headphones were from.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea who made the Liberty Bell.
Really? Okay. It's actually Pass and Stowe. That's why it's actually down Citizens Bank Park. I can never understand why there was a bar named after them. But now I got it. I just learned this, actually, and I should know. And it goes back to that we don't teach this kind of stuff in school. We really should teach this kind of stuff in school.
I think their names are actually on the bell, too.
Yeah, they are.
I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, they are on the bell. All right, here's an easy one. What do you think it weighs? Ding, ding, ding.
450 pounds.
Yeah, a little heavier than that.
I guess like 2,000 or 3,000.
It's massive. Matt's got it. 2,000 pounds. 2,080 pounds. We don't know why it was cracked. The reason why I looked that up today, because I was wearing the shirt, I wanted to find out why was it cracked. We heard all kinds of stories. I watched the movies. What was the ones for the Masons? National Treasure. I watched all that stuff, and I think they lied about why it was cracked in those movies, but they don't know why it cracked. They stopped bringing it after a while, but it's funny. You guys are probably too young for this, but our listeners probably know. You used to be able to drive right past it. It was on Chestnut Street, I think, or Market Street. I forget which one it was on, but it's on 5th Street in front of Independence Hall. You literally used to drive by it, but they kind of put it behind glass now because some crazy person tried to hit it with a hammer. It's Philadelphia. What do you expect? But it's great, and it basically is just a symbol of liberty and democracy. Was given to us by England, and I think it was 1752. It says here. It was cast in London for this Pennsylvania State House. That was the first place it went. But anyway, it's pretty cool. I haven't seen it in years. I think Stephen was on a first grade trip or a second grade trip, and that's when the last time we saw it. And he's going to be 21 in August, my son Stephen. But it's great. And all these soccer players, I learned a lot about soccer players today, okay? I'm really good with soccer right now. Apparently, they can go to Club Risque if they just show their ticket. They can get in for free. So Club Risque is a soccer club. Is that what it is, guys?
Yeah. You know what? I think Club Risque is a soccer club.
It's a soccer club. That's what I figured. Because I'm driving and I saw the sign for the traffic, and then one of the signs on the Schuylkill was free entry with a ticker, a ticket for the soccer game.
I hear it's very popular after work hours.
It's popular after work hours. Okay,
people are going in. They're after a long day of work, and they're just enjoying a little five-a-side.
That's what it is. Okay, great. So Club Risque is definitely the soccer club. I'm going to go there after the show, I think, and check out this. I want to learn more about soccer.
I'm going to root for them in the World Cup.
Yeah, perfect. I also learned just on the news here, before the show started, was the soccer fans from around the world drank us out of beer. In Texas, they drank it was like 5,000 gallons of beer or something. They literally had to close the place down and throw the people out because they drank all the beer. But that's pretty cool. So now I kind of understand why. We want to have soccer here. It's all about the Fazuls, as Rizzioli would say. So it's pretty cool. But I'm learning about all kinds of stuff today here. American history, soccer, and I'm definitely I did watch some of it yesterday. There's two teams I never heard of. They played forever. I don't know. It seems like the games go on for what, 3-4 hours?
Nothing happens. They end at like 1-0 or something. Yeah.
Right. They're running one way, then they're running another way, and then they're kicking the ball, and then there's this gigantic net, and for some reason, there's one little tiny skinny guy standing in front of it, and he seems to catch all the balls going his way. He's allowed to touch the ball with his hands. The other players are not. I just don't get it, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not a big sports guy, but I just don't understand the soccer thing. But they like Club Risque and beer. So I guess it's something, right?
I'd like to watch the English fans watching the World Cup. Like, I want to watch them drink the 5,000 beers and dry out that Dallas bar. That would be entertaining to me.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Imagine the tips by the end of the night there. Because, wait a minute, they don't tip. The Europeans don't tip,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's true.
Ah, man, so that was a total dud for the waitresses.
They got to be furious. Yeah.
Right. They're really not going to be happy at Club Risque then, I'm assuming. How do they know that they take tips at Club Risque? Anyway, so how about that Liberty Bell, huh? That's good stuff. But I am happy to be back in Philadelphia. It does make me feel good to come over the bridge. I know. I've seen it 1,000 times, more than 1,000 times. I come over the Walt Whitman. You see the skyline, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. You know, Billy Penn, the whole thing. But it did, 250 years of freedom started right here in Philadelphia. So it's really a big thing, and it's an honor to be here. And again, it's an honor to be at the station. 2 days in a row, your host, Steve Pakradooni. If you like what you're hearing, please email the station. Greg loves emails, especially very long, detailed emails. So send Greg a nice email about what you think, what's going on here today. So we got a lot to get to. I'm going to do Pax Point, which is pretty interesting today. I feel it's pretty interesting. My wife told me it was interesting, but she's going to tell me that anyway. I forgot to say how to listen. Well, you already listened to me now. But there's a call-in number. It's a talk show. Call in. It's 1-855-839-1210. Call in. We could talk about anything you want. Liberty Bells, Club Risque, soccer, 250th anniversary, cars. I'm an auto mechanic by trade, 37 years in the business. My mirror fell off on my car yesterday. I'm driving, I hear this thing banging against the door, and I'm like, my side view mirror, the glass came off. I put duct tape around it. It really looks bad, but I'm going to have to fix my own car. But yeah, I'm going to have to fix that. You can listen to us free at any time on the Odyssey app. Just download the app on your smartphone and, just put in the Odyssey app and type in 1210 in the search bar. It comes right up. You can catch all the shows here. YouTube, you can see us live. You can see my Liberty Bell shirt. It's really great. I actually like this thing. On YouTube, just, open the app, put in 1210, search it, it'll come right up. And of course, if you have one of those Alexas at home, just say, hey, Alexa, play 1210. I do that at the shop. I have one at the shop, and I just listen to as much as I possibly can during the day. Just listen to Dom. Great show. He's going to be in Wildwood tomorrow, man. That guy lucks out. He goes to Wildwood. He's going to Mulligan's. He's going to have Jeff Van Drew in person. We had him, on the phone yesterday, but in person. And they're talking about scotch drinking and a few other things. Who likes all these different types of drinks? I don't think they're going to run out of beer, but never know. And I heard Linda Kearns is going to be there and all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be a great show. Definitely want to tune in to Dom tomorrow. But I'm pumped up. I'm excited. Right after this break, we're going to take a little break so I have enough time to get this out. We're going to do a PAX Point. I hope you enjoyed it yesterday, and we want you to call in. After I give the point, I want you to call in and give me your thoughts on it. So the call-in number is 855-839-1210. So we're going to take a little break now. You've been listening to the afternoon show with Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni, and we'll catch you right after the break.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. What a great reminder that this nation was built by hardworking people, entrepreneurs, and local family businesses that serve their communities every day. That's one of the reasons I've enjoyed working with Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding. They're a local family-owned company helping homeowners throughout our region improve and protect their homes for years. When you work with Chapman, you're supporting a local business that stands behind its work and truly cares about its customers. To celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary, Chapman is offering $250 off new red, white, or blue entry doors through July 4th. What a fun way to add some patriotic style to your home while improving curb appeal and security. So visit ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Pet parents, there are many sources to buy your pet food these days, but at Dogs and Cats Rule, we take special care in selecting our brands based on quality of ingredients, company transparency, and science-based nutrition. Coming into a Dogs and Cats Rule store with a dietary issue, we can help select the proper food. The best part of the visit is the shopping experience. That's Dogs and Cats Rule with 7 locations. For information online, visit dogsandcatsrule.pet. Dogs and Cats Rule. Shop small, shop local, shop family.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
How We Made Your Mother is a rewatch podcast that looks back episode by episode at the hit TV show How I Met Your Mother. It's hosted by me, Josh Radnor, along with series co-creator Craig Thomas.
In seasons 1 and 2, we were joined by Neil Patrick Harris, Kobe Smulders, Bryan Cranston, Ashley Williams, Wayne Brady, Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, Joe Manganiello, and my brilliant co-creator Carter Bays, and now we are diving into season 3.
So whether it's your 50th rewatch or your first time through, follow How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh, yeah. Elton John singing Philadelphia Freedom. You gotta love it. All these English guys, George Michael about freedom, Elton John singing about Philadelphia freedom.
They want what they can't have.
Yeah, I know. So, it's great. I agree. What a great song. Gotta love Elton John. What a talent, too. So welcome back, everybody. You are listening to the afternoon show. Your host today is Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni. I am back on 1210 WPHT. And we're going to get right into it. We got a big show today. We got a lot of guests. I have a guest calling in at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. We got it all. But I want to get to Pac's point. And, I had some pretty good reviews about this yesterday. So after I give you my point, if you want to call in about it, tell me if you agree, disagree, your opinion, it's fine. Call-in number is 1-855-839-1210. So let me get going on Pac's point for today. Actually, I'm going to start my Pac's point with 2 questions. Why are the Democrats in D.C. so against Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire? Do you think if we had the elected Democrats in office today like AOC, Bernie Sanders, and America's mother-in-law, Elizabeth Warren, in office, say, about 125 years ago, would we have the economic opportunities we're seeing today in our country? Just imagine what they would have done to Henry Ford, Milton Hershey, the Dodge Brothers, Campbell Soups, just to name a few of the companies that were at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution in this country. Not to mention, what would they have done to the oil companies when they were just getting started up? These companies have employed millions of Americans for well over 100 years. The Industrial Revolution lifted so many people out of poverty and provided the American dream for so many. The influx of immigrants legally coming into this country during the early 1900s was because there was work in the United States. That's why they came. We needed people to work. The point I'm trying to make is Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire is a good thing. His companies employ hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. He has made over 4,000 people a millionaire in an instant with his IPO, and Elon and his companies have paid billions upon billions in taxes, not only to our country, but countries around the world. Let's play clip 2 here and listen to what Elizabeth Warren has to say about Elon Musk.
The world is filled with makers and takers.
I present to you the Cybertruck.
Makers create cool products like Teslas. Some makers get rich.
Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world.
The takers are often politicians.
We must substantially increase this tax.
Politicians take other people's money and spend it the way they want.
That's a lot of money. And I want to make sure it's there to hit on the climate crisis.
Elizabeth Warren and Elon Musk may be the best examples of maker and taker.
It is time for a wealth tax.
She's one of the big takers.
We're going to hold the big guys accountable.
The person whose wealth she most wants to take is Elon Musk.
How much did Elon Musk pay that year? We actually saw his taxes that year. And the answer is he paid zero.
Zero was true one year because Musk didn't realize income that year. But at the time Warren said that, Musk had to pay the government $12 billion, more tax than anyone's paid in history.
So that Elizabeth Warren then goes out and says that Elon Musk didn't pay any taxes. Paid $12 billion in 1 year. $12 billion in 1 year. A little thing to add to my point here about Elon Musk. SpaceX success was far from guaranteed. In 2008, the company almost ran out of money after Falcon 1 suffered a series of failed launch attempts. In fact, Musk said that at one point the company had just enough money in reserves to launch for that final launch. The Wall Street Journal reported that the company's success was so unlikely that some of their employees sold their stocks for restaurant gift cards for Chili's. Could go on to Club Risque. Musk risked an enormous amount of his own time and personal fortune to create SpaceX, to create millionaires, to employ people, to pay billions of dollars in taxes. Right now, SpaceX and Tesla are combined have a market cap of about $3.74 trillion. Elon Musk sits at about $1.3 trillion, meaning that he created $2.4 trillion worth of wealth for other people. And Elizabeth Warren wants to tax him more, doesn't want him to be a trillionaire. My point is the reason why these government officials are so scared of Elon being a trillionaire is because they can't control Elon. He can't be bought. Elon has enough money to defend himself from the leftist nutcase ridiculous lawsuits, very similar to the ones against President Trump. He had the money to defend himself. And what scares people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren is they can't control him. That's what it is. They want people under their control. My point is government is never the answer. Don't be a panicking. Here's another clip from John Stossel about climate change and how government officials had everyone scared to death on what was going to happen with our climate, and they wanted to control the way that we used the energy available for us. Please play clip 1.
This environmental catastrophe bearing down on us.
I keep hearing that we're killing the earth.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood.
But wait, I've been a consumer reporter for years. I've covered so many scares. Plague, famine, and perpetual war will kill us. We're going to run out of oil. Nuclear power will give us cancer. Killer bees swarm ever closer. Bird flu, flesh-eating bacteria. The list of terrible things that were going to get us is long. And yet we're living longer than ever. None of those scares turned out to be as frightening as the warnings. But I'm told global warming is different.
Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
The alarmists have evidence that supports their fears. Temperature is rising. The UN predicts that it'll rise another 2 to 5 degrees.
What do we do when the land we live on is under attack?
But does that justify the fear?
Climate change is not a lie, so please don't let our planet die.
Does it justify this claim?
We have 12 years to act.
We have 12 years.
We have 12 years before the effects are irreversible.
Really? 12 years?
It's warmed up around 1 degree Celsius since 1900, and
life expectancy doubled the industrialized democracies, and yet that temperature ticks up another half a degree, and the entire system crashes. That's the most absurd belief.
I recently moderated this debate on climate change at the Heartland Institute.
We could stop it there then. We could stop it there. And John is right. None of this happened. So I'm going to make my final point here. Al Gore told us decades ago we would never see snow again unless we had government regulations. AOC is screaming we only have 12 years left or the planet is going to be destroyed. The hysteria from the left is never ending, and all of it turned out to be completely false. That's my point. So whether you agree with me, you disagree with me, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. The point is that government is not the answer. And people like these politicians, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, they're just the most popular ones. There's tons of them out there that are all part of this Green New Deal. They're lying to us. It's completely false. John Stossel has done many documentaries about this, and he's proven them wrong over and over and again. And in the end of that clip, the scientist, he had scientists on one side, and he invited scientists on the other side that was saying that the world was ending and our temperatures are going through the roof, blah, blah, blah. They chose not to show up to debate the other scientists. So where's the science? I know we say follow the science. Well, we only got one side of the science. We didn't get the other side of it. They didn't want to debate because they knew that they were false. They were wrong. So love to hear what you have to say. Phone number here is 855-839-1210. I do have to take a break. We're going to come back at 3:30 for someone that's going to help me out, Chris Del Borello. He knows about AI. He knows about business, and he's going to answer some of my questions about my point. Catch you right after the break. You've been listening to the afternoon show on 1210 WPHT with your host, Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Pinterest is looking to fight increasing AI slop with the help of Amazon's cloud services. Pinterest announced a $4 billion deal with Amazon Web Services to modernize the social media platform, with Pinterest saying it's addressing complaints of AI-generated slop. Pinterest says curators are suffering from frequently hacked accounts, with automated bots initiating false suspensions for spam violations. I'm Jason Brooks.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. The big day, Dom Giordano Day in Wildwood, is almost here. Join me tomorrow, noon until 3, at Mulligan's, 310 West Hildreth Avenue in Wildwood. We have Jeff Van Drew, Amante McCoy, the Great Short Debate with Linda Kearns. And do you fold your pizza? Do people really do that? Stop by, have a great lunch, even stay for dinner. Be on the show. Join us tomorrow at Mulligan's, 310 West Hildreth Avenue in Wildwood.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
It'll be windy for the rest of the day. Overnight, we're going to get down to around 65. Tomorrow, high 83, not quite as humid. Saturday, mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 83. Sunday, 84. Sunshine, some clouds possible for Father's Day. Monday to start the work week, high 77.
Visit Piazza Honda of Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield to take advantage of 2.99% financing for 36 months on the popular 2026 CR-V and CR-V Hybrid. Shop online today at piazzahonda.com.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Yeah, little Billy Joel. This is my life. Tell him, leave me alone. I don't want to hear from these global alarmists that it's global warming. Now Gary in the chat saying that global cooling. They're telling us it's global cooling now. You know, it's real hard for me. I was in Florida in January, and the iguanas were dropping out of the trees because it was so cold. It's hard for me to say that it's global warming. But anyway, that was part of the PAX point. And welcome back. You are listening to the afternoon show on 1210 WPHT. With your host today, Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni. And I have a special guest on the line, Chris Del Barolo. He's an entrepreneur. He's a teacher now. He's way smarter than I'll ever be. And he sends me all this great information about AI and then some stuff that's really cool that's happening in the medical field where these very rich people, billionaires and now trillionaires, are funding some of this medical research, but actually can help with something that I have going on. So, hey, Chris, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Hey, Pac-Man, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, got you loud and clear.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to call in because, your point today, PAX points about Elon Musk and, some of the, the tech billionaires that are on the frontier of, all these innovations and breakthroughs that we're about to go through, really hit home with me. I see an entirely different side of it. I see your side of it. I agree with you just about everything you said in your point. And I think it comes down to a couple things, right? I think the fundamental problems that some of our friends on the left go through when they see a trillionaire for the first time in world history is that is a very how should I say it? That's a very seen thing, right? So it's this idea that what can you see versus what can you not see? And for Democrats and for, some other people that, don't affiliate with any party, they see a trillionaire, right? It's very in front. It's in the news. It's in the media. They see a trillionaire for the first time. And then you can see, the person that is homeless, right? And so it's just so in front of you that they get caught in that, right? Whereas, Elon Musk also made, as you pointed out correctly, almost 5,000 millionaires from going, public. All those people, all those engineers, even down to the welders that are welding and fabricating all of his technology, even down to the cafeteria workers that said, you know what, instead of getting more money somewhere else, I'd rather take less money and go with you and get shares. They were made millionaires. And So that's what's not being seen. That's what's not being talked about. And I think that's where a fundamental disconnect comes, between Republicans and Democrats. And I think there's two other points too that we kind of miss. And Democrats tend to see the economic world, tend to see money in general as being finite. They don't see it as infinite. They see it as finite. So the pie is only so big. Therefore, I have to take from those who have a bigger slice of pie and give to those who have a smaller slice of pie. And what they don't realize about economics, and a lot of people that go into entrepreneurship and do these innovations and breakthroughs, is that the pie is actually infinite. If you let free enterprise work and move forward, the pie actually gets bigger for everyone. The pie actually is infinite. We create new technologies, we create new industries, we create new innovations, and then everybody participates in that. And so that's another fundamental disconnect. And I think the final one that I've kind of come across over the last 2 years of kind of researching all this, and this isn't just a problem for Democrats, but it's also a problem for some Republicans, is they are still thinking in linear terms, right? Mm-hmm. Even going back to our religious days, and a lot of religions, say there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end, right? And that correlates with our life, with everything we see. The line is flat, it's linear. And what people don't realize is we are no longer on linear terms. We are on exponential terms. We are on a curve that is right about to kind of shoot upwards and, multiply, compound. Everybody's familiar with compound interest. Albert Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. And we are on a compounding curve, no longer a linear curve, with science, with biotech, with all kinds of cures and diseases, and economics and industry. And so I think a lot of people on both sides are not understanding that disconnect now. We are no longer on linear time, we're on exponential time. And so that all of those things that they kind of have embedded in their philosophy or outlook on life leads them to the policies that they pursue, which are not particularly good.
That's a great way to break that down. And for some reason, it's always, just in layman's terms, I'm going to say it's doom and gloom. It's like somehow Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire is bad for me, like the regular guy just working every day. I don't see it. I can't see their side of it. They always talk about the little guy and what do they call it? Equity. And I don't know. What I see it as is that if Elon Musk has all these businesses, and generally he's not he's not sitting on his money. He's opening more and more and more businesses. People have jobs. Well, my industry is auto repair. Well, if you have a job, most of the time you have a car and you need the car to get to work. So I have to fix your car to maintain it to make sure that you can still get to work. I don't know if Elon wasn't creating all these jobs, and it's not like they're low-paying jobs. These are high-paying jobs. It supports me. I just don't understand why the left and they're so against rich people. I've never been paid by a poor person. Any poor person that's ever come into my business is usually panhandling, or if they have a car, there's they don't have any money to fix the car. And it's insane. I just don't understand their reasoning. And then who's going to pay the taxes? So Elon's paying billions and billions, and Bezos and all these other things. It just makes no sense to me. So as a teacher of business, can you even say, okay, well, that their idea behind it, that AOC said there should be no billionaires. I don't get it. Why in business that doesn't make sense to me? Does it work in any business model that you've ever seen, Chris?
No, I mean it just comes down to that. What do you want to do in life? Listen, some people are perfectly happy with making $70,000 or $80,000 a year, never making much more than that, and just having a small family, and just that's it for them, and that's fine. That's why we live in, you're talking about American freedom, 250 years we're celebrating. That's your choice. But if you sold a company for $200 million, I believe Elon Musk sold. He was a co-founder of PayPal. And then you're willing to risk everything you worked for in that company and put it all your chips on the table, trying to, in 2002, creating a new company called SpaceX, rockets. Everybody told him he was nuts. Everybody told him you could not do a reusable rocket. That's impossible. And he put his money where his mouth is. And he, by doing that and going almost bankrupt in 2008, as you mentioned, he risked everything. And so it's a huge payoff. It was a huge gamble. But in the course of doing that, he's but he's created all of those, space engineering jobs. He's created all of those welding jobs. I tell all my students that if you don't, want to go to college, and you want to work with your hands, become a welder, become a fabricator, become a sheet metal worker, become, all of those things. We're going to need that in the new economy. But maybe you're not building the old stuff, you're building the new stuff. Maybe you're welding rocket, engines. Maybe you're welding something else down in Boca Chica, Texas at Starbase.
Right.
Maybe you're welding or fabricating the new air taxis that are going to be, shuttling us around in the air from point A to point B and get us to where we want to go faster. So maybe you're going to be a mechanical engineer, but you're going to be fixing robots in the future. Not, so there's this whole world that's coming, and I try and teach my students to be optimistic about that. And, that's why I called in, because I want to be your resident future optimist guy, calling in every week that you're on and giving you the great things about what's coming.
I appreciate that. And I always equate it to, I'm still, in business 37 years or whatever it is. But I always think about when I started my first business, well, I had to get uniforms. I had to get supplies. I had to, get office supplies. Then when we moved into computers, I had to get computers. It just creates, so my tiny little business has probably employed so many people, and that's how it works in America. And I just don't understand why these politicians frown upon that. So I'm going to change subjects with you real quick, because you sent me something that's important to me. Actually, it's something that I have. I do have a Nion in my right eye. I lost vision in my right eye, but you sent me an article about Jeff Bezos actually doing funding the research for Nions and some other things to help people, because we're living longer, have a better quality of life. So could you touch base on that just a little bit for me, Chris?
Yeah, so there's this whole industry now based on longevity and health span. Expanding our health and expanding our life expectancy, right? And so 30 years ago, the people that kind of first got into this field, they were looked at as crazy people. Oh yeah, you're just trying to become immortal, or that'll never work. You'll never figure this out. And all the science of the last 20 years has shown, along with the help of artificial intelligence, that aging is a coding problem. Aging, the cells of our body are just like computer code, and things go wrong in the code, which is why we age and we become unhealthy and ultimately pass away. And there's ways that they're trying to rewire the code, the cells, to rejuvenate again. And one of those things that I sent you was they just did, within the last 2 weeks, their very first human trial where scientists, I believe it's MIT, I'm not sure, but they injected into the eyes some factors and some proteins and some other things that they've been working on. They got really good test trials with mice. They got really good test trials with apes and chimps, and now they just did the first human test trial where they're going to be looking at this gentleman for the next 6 months to a year who lost his vision due to glaucoma or Nion, what you're talking about, and to see if we can rejuvenate the cells back to a prior state, a functioning state, a working state, and restore vision. And they are really excited about this. If anybody wants to read about this, there was a big article in Wired. There's Dr. Sinclair is, kind of like on the cutting edge of this. His name's David Sinclair. And, this is what's coming. And the great thing about artificial intelligence is that we are now, think about how much money that we have put into science and research over the last 100 years, right? I mean, how many people of your listeners have donated to cancer research, have donated to Alzheimer's research, and yet we're not moving the needle like we have to be. Yeah, we might get 1% better or 2% better, but we're not curing it, or we're not getting 50%, better. And that's what artificial intelligence is going to allow us to do, is get 50% better, leaps and bounds within the next decade.
Right. That's great. Chris, I am going to be up against a break in less than a minute, but I want to thank you for calling in. And anytime they put me on, hopefully you could call in, because, you're really up to speed on this, and you're educating me, you're educating our listeners, and you're breaking it down that we can understand it. And I really, really do appreciate it. So thanks for calling in, and I'll see you around the neighborhood soon, as we used to say.
You will be seeing me. You will be seeing me. We're going to get your site back there in that eye.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Chris Del Perello was our guest. He's an entrepreneur by trade, but he's also a business teacher. He's a really dynamic guy, young guy, ran for office, involved with politics. He held office before, helped people. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. The one thing that I do want to say with it, how this leads back to my point, the billionaires, Jeff Bezos and Sam Altman, is the ones that are funding this research that little old me is going to benefit from eventually. If they can, if this research works and they can help me get my eyesight back, that would be fantastic. But they're funding it. It's not taxpayer dollars. It's from them, and they're paying billions in dollars in taxes. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and AOC and the Democrats, they're wrong on this. They're wrong on this. I think my point has been made that it's great that we have billionaires and trillionaires. So I know I have to break. You've been listening to the afternoon show on 1210 WPHT with your host today, Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni. Don't go anywhere. We got more great stuff coming up.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Join WPHT and Nick Hale in supporting the 39th annual Bend to the Shore Bike Tour, Sunday, July 26th. Ride 10, 30 miles, or 65 miles, or just make a donation. Visit bendtoshore.org and enter code NICK1210 to get $25 off the registration fee. That's shore.org, promo code NICK1210. The Bend to Shore Bike Tour provides financial relief for the families of fallen and critically injured first responders and is organized by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation.
If clutter is costing you time, fix it right away. Closet Factory designs and installs custom storage for closets, pantries, and home offices. Schedule a free design consultation at closetfactory.com. Closetfactory.com.
Babbel proudly presents The Bookstore Bungle.
Librairie means library in French, right?
Yeah, obviously.
I just love a library.
The French are so loud, though.
Yeah. Hey, be quiet. This is a library. S'il vous plaît.
Ce n'est pas une bibliothèque.
Bibliothèque? I think that's Spanish, ma'am.
You are in a bookstore, not a library. Oh.
No more bookstore bungles with Babbel.
Ah, touriste.
Learn to speak like a local and act like one too. Practice with Babbel's guided conversations based on real situations. Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to get up to 50% off. Babbel.com.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. Gas tank is full, tonight's dinner plans are set, grocery shopping is complete, and I even got everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
Every one of those stops gets me a bit of money back.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on gas, groceries, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first grocery trip.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Earn cash back on errands and everyday essentials. Download Upside and use promo code SNAP5 to earn an extra $5 cash back on your first purchase at one of over 100,000 available locations. That's promo code SNAP5 for an extra $5 cash back. Remember, use promo code SNAP5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Do it today at 1210 WPHT.
Gotta love Floyd. Dark Side of the Moon. My favorite. It's great. Love it. Saw this out at Desert Trip, the moon. It was great. Roger Waters a little too political for me, but hey, it is what it is. It was a great thing. So welcome back. You are listening to the 1210 WPHT afternoon show with your host, Steve Pakradooni. Just had a great call from Chris Del Barello. I know Matt DeSantis has got a really good comment on this. Matt, tell me what you just told me on the break.
Yeah, so when I was an undergraduate, I took a course at the business school, and I will concede that I retained almost none of the information that was shared in that course, aside from one statistic, which I thought was incredible. It blew my mind. And it was that the biotechnology industry as a whole didn't actually turn a profit until 2009. And, think of how many medical tech startups invested their money and time and didn't have anything to show for it when it was all said and done. I think that statistic really emphasizes the point you've been making this hour, which is there needs to be a financial incentive for investors and entrepreneurs to risk their time and their fortunes. Because if there isn't, then society just doesn't benefit from these medical breakthroughs. There's no one funding the innovation.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. And I know there's going to be debates about big pharma and this and that. But some of this life-saving stuff that's out there, and also the quality of life. I mean, yes, we are living longer. But what's the sense of being, 90 years old and you're literally falling apart? And if these billionaires, because they'll never spend the money that they have, if they want to invest it and they can improve the qualities of their life, so they can enjoy the money that they have, if they're going to live to 90 or 100, hey, I'm all for it. If the government's not spending the money, it's not, taxpayer dollars, good stuff. So I say bring on the billionaires. They're not hurting us. They're employing us. It makes me they act like they're keeping us down. I love when they say that. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, one thing that kind of this clip that I want to play here, and the reason why goes back to my point that these politicians, like an Elizabeth Warren and a Bernie Sanders, are scared to death of a guy like Elon because they're saying they could possibly pick the next president because of the money he has. But, that's not exactly true. Let's play clip number 3 for our listeners, please.
Let's be clear. Elon Musk, in my view, can probably decide who the next president is.
Yeah, that's correct.
He spent $250 million and had influence on the election. Maybe he didn't decide it, but he had influence on it.
He thinks
what
he
happens
did, that's for sure.
if he decides to put 2.5% of his net worth, or $25 billion, or 100 times what he spent last time?
He's a freight train.
Well, that's not true. That is not true. So let's just look at it dollars and cents. In 2024, Kamala Harris outspent Donald Trump by almost $1 billion. She spent almost $2.1 billion, while Trump spent about $1.3 billion, and Harris still lost. I mean, she really lost, too. It wasn't like a little loss. So it doesn't mean that theory that they just said there that, a guy like Elon can invest $25 billion and make it work. In 2025, a Supreme Court seat, Elon Musk spent $22 million supporting a conservative candidate, and he lost too. He lost by about 10 points. So the money doesn't relate to it. I mean, does it help? Yes, money does help elections, but we just proved it in 2025 and in 2024. I mean, the money that Harris spent, and that's the money that they can track. There's not, that dark money's not out there. When we say dark money, when you have all these PACs and all, and you saw those commercials over and over and over and over again, the money didn't help her. That's for sure. So they are wrong on that one. I think I have to take a break now, right? That's what they told me, right? So we're going to take a break. You've been listening to the afternoon show with your host today, Steve Pakradooni on 1210 WPHT. Don't go anywhere. We got great guests coming up right after the break at the top of the hour.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Alcoholics Anonymous. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There is a solution. You can find us at aa.org.
And Iran leading to bipartisan backlash over terms that could allow Iran to sell oil on the open market, rebuild military, and charge fees in the reopened Strait of Hormuz. Here's ABC's Selena Wang.
This deal also says that the U.S. commits to negotiating to lift all sanctions against Iran and release billions of dollars in frozen Iranian assets if certain progress marks are made. And when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz, it says that for 60 days, there will be no charge for allowing free passage through the strait, which leaves open the possibility that fees could be charged after that point, which is a power that Iran did not have before this war began.
In Chicago, former President Barack Obama addressing the crowd at the dedication ceremony of his presidential center, saying he hopes the center serves as a reminder how precious democracy is and for Americans to exercise their rights under the Constitution.
When we stop believing that voting matters, that citizenship matters, that our collective voices matter, that how we treat each other no longer matters, then we give away our power to decide our own futures.
Former Presidents Joe Biden, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton, along with former First Ladies, attended the ceremony. The center opens to the public tomorrow. First-time jobless claims slipping last week and were in line with analyst projections.
225,000 out-of-work Americans filed their initial applications for state jobless benefits in the week ended June 13th, a decrease of 4,000. The previous week's reading, 229,000 initial filings, was the highest since February. Still, economists describe the labor market as stable and in a condition of low hiring and low firing.
ABC's Jim Ryan. Gulf Coast states still under threat of flooding from Tropical Storm Arthur, delivering up to a half a foot of rain per hour in some areas. You're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the secret war on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
The Department of Education announcing it will temporarily drop interest rates on federal student loans beginning July 1st through the end of June next year. For millions of borrowers enrolled in automatic payments, rates could go down by as much as a full percentage point. Defaults have risen following the end of those pandemic-era relief programs, and it's an incentive to pay off debt on time each month. Student loan debt stands at $1.66 trillion, according to the New York Fed. In Texas, NTSB investigators now on scene of Sunday's small private plane crash in Laredo. That plane flying from Mexico and bound for Austin. The NTSB says the plane's so-called black boxes have been recovered and will be analyzed.
The investigation into the crash is only just beginning. NTSB air safety investigator Mitchell Gallo says he arrived early Thursday morning and that his team will work to figure out why the plane, owned by charter company NetJets, slid down a highway before it broke apart. He says they have a lot of work to do.
We need to collect the basic data and then kind of funnel it to a tighter scope.
One person on board was killed, but the crew survived. 5 on board were injured. Surveillance video appears to show the plane circling Laredo before it came down on the highway. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Gunmen attacked the main airport in Nigeria's capital today, killing 11 soldiers and 2 civilians. Security forces say they also killed 22 of the attackers. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. If you're like me, dental visits meant cleanings twice a year until suddenly they didn't. As teeth age and wear down, small issues can become complex problems. That's where expertise matters most. At Bentz Dental Group, board-certified prosthodontist Dr. Robert Bentz and Dr. Emily Bentz specialize in advanced and complex dental care. They deliver precise diagnosis and customized treatment plans designed for your long-term health. Call 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
WPHT HD, WOGL HD 98.3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon.
Jersey. We are going back over the bridge for our next guest, and he's going to tell us what's going on in Trenton today. We have State Senator Lathan Tiver from District 8. He just got out of voting session at the Capitol in Trenton. Senator, how was voting today?
Good afternoon, Steve. We're just leaving the State House. Thanks for having me on today. It was good. We had over 40 bills. This was the last voting session before the budget needs to be passed. We're scheduled for the 29th and the 30th. I'm sure they said the 29th and or the 30th. So that remains to be seen whether we're going to be there one day or 2 days. But we're getting down to crunch time. It's got to be done by July 1.
I hear you. So tell our listeners here, what is the state budget for New Jersey? And I'm going to warn our listeners, please sit down first. But go ahead, Senator.
So the budget right now, the proposed budget is $60.7 billion. And that's why I'm focused on affordability, right? That's what we all should be talking about for New Jersey residents is affordability. One of the big things is school funding.
Right.
There's a lot of schools in my district and other districts that are they are at wit's ends. That they have the funding formula needs to be revamped. We have schools. I just had a call the other day. A school is being forced to lay off their security guard. In today's day and age, that's crazy to not even have a security guard at your school. We have another couple districts who are canceling all sports.
Wow.
Right? What are these kids going to do? They need sports. That's an outlet for them, and they need to have sports growing up. We have another town who's raising their taxes. Their local school tax alone, 26%. Something's got to give, and we really need to revamp the school funding formula. So that's one thing that we really need to work on. The other thing is, it's summer. Pools are on, air conditioners are on, and I'm sure everybody listening that's in New Jersey is going to be shocked again this year like they were last year when they get their electric bills. And that's a real problem. So the last 7-8 years, the prior administration and going into this administration, we've put all our eggs in one basket on wind and solar. Really just wind. And what we've done is we used to be an exporter in electricity. And we've gotten to the point where we're trying to become green. Everything has to be battery-operated cars and no gas, no diesel by 2035. So what that's doing is all these regulations is closing down power plants. And I think the number was 7 power plants we've closed down in the last 8 years. So now we're not exporting energy. We don't have enough supply for our demand. So now we have to import it. And we're on what we call the PJM grid. And it's a consortium of, I think it's 13 states, and we basically go out to auction. And PJM's job is to make sure they don't do any supply. They make sure that production, I should say. They don't do any production. They make sure that each state has enough electricity, and they move it around from state to state. So now we're buying electricity at a premium. Instead of controlling the market for us, we have to go out to other states and buy it. So that's something that we need to do. We can't keep, we have coal-fired power plants that have been shut down. We've had gas-fired power plants. We have a nuclear power plant over in Lacey that was shut down. And I sit on the Energy Committee, and it's baffling to me that we live in New Jersey and we're saying that we're not going to produce dirty energy. Everything's got to be clean energy, which is great, right? I want to drink clean water just like the rest of them and breathe clean air and all that kind of good stuff. But when we're saying that we're going to produce clean energy, but yet when we go out to the PJM grid, we're buying energy from other states that are producing their electricity with coal-fired power plants.
Right.
So all the clean air that we're producing if you look, the jet stream's blowing from west to east, right? So it's taking all of our clean air and blowing it out to the ocean, and then we're breathing all the dirty air from the west that's coming our way from the electricity. So we can't produce the electricity, but we can buy it. That's dirty. It doesn't make sense. And I think we need to get back to an all hands on deck with buying or producing gas electricity and nuclear electricity, and all hands on deck. Solar, everything is on board to get us back to lowering our rates.
Yeah,
we have people in our district that are calling saying they have $1,500 electric bills. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, Senator, I agree with you, and it's funny. I'm getting flashbacks from the 2025 campaign, of course, for Jack Ciattarelli, where he said everything you just said, that we shut down these power plants. We're buying the energy off the grid from coal producing. It doesn't make sense. It's foolish. It's foolish, and they're doing this because of the progressive left. And Mikey Sherrill, the Governor Sherrill, is playing to her base. So I may be incorrect on this, but I think I was told. So there is a gas-fired electric plant in Newark, New Jersey, that's operating at 37% instead of 100% because the previous administration put the restrictions on that power plant. So as you're sitting on this energy committee, is there any way to say, hey, make these guys operate at 80, 90, 100%? Or is it just that the Democrats in the committee or the Democrats, in Trenton won't allow us to do this?
That's pretty much what's going on is they're not allowing it. And, so the other thing I forgot to mention is if everybody starts driving around electric cars, and that's freedom of choice. If you want to drive an electric car, great. Mm-hmm. But if they're mandating everybody to do run an electric car, there's more strain on the grid and production that we just can't physically produce that much electricity. We got to go out and buy more. It's common sense, right? We need to produce more electricity for the supply. It's a supply and demand problem. That's what it is.
Right. So you're not a state senator by trade. You're a member of 825, the operating engineers. Now, you're on construction sites. You guys, I was told, when I met a bunch of you, that you do the flat stuff. You don't build up, you build down. And is there any solar power, electric power, machinery? Is there anything out there? Is there any of that equipment? Or everything that the operating engineers are using is all usually diesel powered?
Yes, mostly diesel powered. But correction, we do build up.
Oh, you do build up.
So when you're building it, we run cranes. Our members run cranes. So when we're building a building, they're setting the steel and the roofing and all that kind of good stuff. Air conditioning units on top. So yeah, we do everything from underground to sky's the limit.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so I had a woman say that exact thing to me in committee one day after one of the committee meetings, and she said, are you aware that they're testing battery operated heavy equipment right now? And I said, I am aware of that. And she's like, well, what do you think? And I said, there's where do you want to start? I said, but I guess the easy thing to say is that all tests are showing that the batteries last 4 hours.
Oh, boy.
So you're expecting a contractor to hire our members and put our members to work. They're going to work for 4 hours, and then you got to put on charge. What do they do for the rest of the time? It's going to put the contractors out of business. The technology's not there yet.
Right.
So it just, again, common sense. It doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Again, everybody's all for clean air and clean energy and clean water, but it's got to make sense. And stuff like that's not making sense right now.
Right. We're just not there with the technology. And listen, things have changed. I mean, I've been on construction sites. I've actually fixed, equipment on the construction sites, and that diesel was unbearable. And I know you spent a lot of years with that. But nowadays, you don't even know these trucks are running because it's burning the fuel efficiently, and there's not a whole lot coming out for exhaust, or there's not a lot of emissions. It's amazing how technology has done this. There's a fluid that's called DEF. We put that in diesel. It helps burner clean. We can actually run diesel. I do a lot of Sprinter van repair. We can run them in the shop And before you could never run a diesel vehicle inside the shop, and now we can.
Right.
So I just don't understand the left's, the Democrats' idea of why let the technology catch up. And it's a shame that we're spending $60 billion, for our budget in New Jersey. None of it's really going to the upgrade our energy grids. It doesn't make sense to me what they're doing and why they bet all this money on wind, which is a failure. It just makes no sense to me, Senator. I just don't get it. But it doesn't help us at all, the average person. So Mikey Sherrill ran in 2025 on making things more affordable, lowering our energy cost. Did you see anything today for that budget coming out of the State House in Trenton that's really going to make that happen?
We haven't even seen the actual final draft of what the budget's going to look like yet.
Wow, it's horrible. One thing I have.
So we're waiting, right? Like I said, it's got to be passed in 12 days, but we're waiting for what it actually is going to finally look like that we're voting on, and we'll take it from there. But at today, bills that we voted on, now there's nothing
there.
Yeah,
as expected, and it's a shame that they run on things and heartstrings and clean energy. And listen, your electric bill of $1,500 a month it's not burning any cleaner than it was when it was $500 a month, and we're buying from coal plants 2 states over. It just makes no sense to me.
Right.
I'm going to shift gears with you a little bit, if it's okay with you. I'm looking at a few things. So Mikey Sherrill, the governor, has put $20 million in a fund for illegal immigrant protections, but she took $100,000 away from Meals on Wheels for seniors. I want to make sure that I have that correct. Did that actually happen?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So we're firing our school safety officers because we can't afford to pay them for the schools. We're having so many problems. The aides are getting fired. Of course, it's always the low-level people. It's never the administrators and whatever. And we're taking meals away from seniors who need them the most because they can't afford to live in New Jersey. But we're going to give $20 million of our taxpayer money in New Jersey to illegals to protect them. I just don't get it. And
criminals at that.
And criminals.
Right? Criminals. Right? So if you or I break the law, we have to suffer the consequences, pay, get our lawyer and all that kind of good stuff. Why are we doing this? Yeah. To your point, we're not even taking care of our own.
Right.
And we're defending illegals.
It really does make no sense. How do your Democrat colleagues on the other side, how do they justify this? When this, when they're in the State House arguing on the State House floor, what are they saying? What is the justification behind this? I don't know how they write this. And when they talk to you, I mean, I know you guys talk, you have to work together. Is there anything that you could say that, oh, well, they're swaying me this way because this makes sense? I don't see it. But I'm not there. You're there. How do the Democrats actually justify this?
I don't know how they justify it. This is the first voting session. This is the first time that we've been in Trenton since that news broke that it came out that they wanted to do this, and it wasn't even. We didn't even talk about it today.
Very good.
I guess that's part of the budget process, right? It's going to be in budget, and it's all going to come up in the next 12 days.
Right. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm frustrated, and I got involved, and my story of why I got involved in politics was I was leaving New Jersey. I couldn't afford to stay here anymore, and I said I was going to stop and I was going to fight, and I wound up at the NJ Summit for Republicans down in Atlantic City, and the rest is history after there. And I see hardworking guys like yourself, getting involved and trying to make a difference, but unfortunately in New Jersey. We're just, the Republicans are a super minority right now, and and Mikey Sherrill is just pushing farther and farther and farther left because she wants to run for president. She has to do that because she has to get through the primary, and primary voters are basically the extremes of the party, And that's what she's doing, but at our expense. It's really, really a shame that more people didn't get out and vote in 2025. I know the district that you came from, we lost 2 great assembly members, Republican assembly members, with Mike Teresi and Branda Umbra, who really cared about people. But it wasn't the messaging or anything like that, Senator. It was just Republicans refused to turn out in 2025. If they would have turned out in the 2024 numbers in 2025, we'd have a completely different conversation here. We would have retained the assembly seats. We would have had a Republican governor. And I'm saying this because I don't want this to happen in Pennsylvania, because it could happen this year in Pennsylvania if they reelect Josh Shapiro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, when you're in a minority and you need every vote that you can, and if the Republicans don't come out and vote, that makes it really hard. Now you're relying on the unaffiliated voters to come out and hopefully come your way. And if we can't get our own base to come out and vote for us, it makes it really difficult.
Right. Wow. Well, Senator, I am up against a break. I really appreciate your time. If 1210 brings me back in, I would love to hear more what's coming out of the State House in Trenton, because since the Democrats do have complete control over it, it's very hard to find out what's exactly happening there. And I'm so happy that you called in and told us what's happening right off the State House floor. I really appreciate your time, Senator, and welcome to call in anytime you like.
Okay, thanks for having me.
All right, great. Thank you so much. That was Senator Lathan Tiver from District 8 in New Jersey, a state senator. And he's a regular guy, too. Again, union member. The operating engineer is 825. I've had great conversations with him, and another person that cares. He cares about people, and that's why he got involved and went to Trenton for us. And unfortunately, like I said, with what happened in the 2025 election, with Republicans staying home, we lost so many assembly members and senators up for re-election next year in 2027. New Jersey's unique, where it has an election every single year, and the off years or the odd years, it's only for the state government. So it'll be the state senator will actually be at the top of the ticket and the assembly members. And it's super important. And I know, for our Philadelphia listeners, you're going, what's the difference? Well, it affects the entire region. Because what happens is, if New Jersey, a lot of people in Pennsylvania have homes at the shore, they vacation at the shore. Well, it becomes completely unaffordable there. It's a huge problem. And also, if, Governor Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey is unwilling to fix the electric problem that we have, she literally has these plants shut down because of the nonsense of, we're not going to use fossil fuels to make electricity. It's costing the entire region way more money. So I'm pretty sure I got to take a break because I've been talking for a long time here. Yeah, he's telling me to break. So we're going to take a quick break here. You've been listening to the afternoon show on 1210 WPHT with your host, Steve Pakradooni. Hang tight. We got more calls coming up after the break.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Well, Lorenzo, the pitch looked good.
Yeah, so green.
USA keeper was decent enough.
Didn't have much to do.
99 minutes.
Not a single goal. Well, Bet365 sure came through, though. I bet $10 and get $365 in bonus bets just for signing up.
At least someone scored.
Bet365. Winning is everything.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Looking for an auto repair shop you can actually trust? McCullough's Auto Repair has been serving Delco since 1999. They believe honesty, fairness, and friendly service still matter. Chuck and Ralph run the place. No matter your car's issue, they'll explain it in plain English and help you decide what really needs to be done now and what can wait. Chuck's motto is, I'll never steer you wrong. Call McCullough's at 610-446-1230 and ask for Chuck or Ralph, or visit mcculloughsautorepair.com.
As dads, it's our job to capture as many memories with our kids as possible. It's also our job to embarrass them, and if we're lucky, we get to do both. That's why I'm thankful my son created Legacy Box, the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos.
And I'll never recover from the time you showed up to my middle school dance to disco in front of everyone. Thanks, Dad. But he's right. Simply fill your Legacy Box with your old VHS, camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos, and we'll do the rest.
And in just a couple of weeks, you'll get your originals back, along with a DVD, thumb drive, or cloud delivery. Stuff that even an old man like me can figure out.
Plus, for a limited time, we're offering a special Father's Day sale.
Go to legacybox.com/radio to get an incredible deal. Buy today to take advantage of this limited offer. Go to legacybox.com/radio
to get started and save.
legacybox.com/radio.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
Pinterest is looking to fight increasing AI slop with the help of Amazon's cloud services. Pinterest announced a $4 billion deal with Amazon Web Services to modernize the social media platform, with Pinterest saying it's addressing complaints of AI-generated slop. Pinterest says curators are suffering from frequently hacked accounts, with automated bots initiating false suspensions for spam violations. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Oh, yeah. Pinball Wizard, The Who. Love it. Love it. Here in Philadelphia. The afternoon show. WPHT 1210 AM. With your host today, Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni. Don't ask me how to spell it. Spell it wrong to the second grade. Got a story about Pinball Wizard in Philadelphia. Pete Townsend in Philadelphia said that's his most favorite Who song. He loves to play it and he loves to sing it. And he generally does it every single concert because it's his favorite one. He told one of our famous, what do they call them, disc jockeys back in the day, MMR, John DeBella, he told him that was his favorite song. So in Philadelphia, making more history with all these British guys again. I don't know. They love Philadelphia. It's great. It's great. I love it. So right now, we're going to keep it on the Jersey side. We were talking about Philadelphia for a long time. But I'm going to keep it on the Jersey side because this one ties together. And we have on the phone my mayor of my town, Washington Township in Gloucester County. We have Mayor Anthony Delapia. And I'm going to ask him some tough questions just after we had the state senator coming out of Trenton. Hey, Mayor, you on the line there?
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
We're doing pretty good, Ann. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic.
Fun fact on the Pinball Wizard, I actually seen that show at the Forest Theater in Philadelphia when I was younger, and I had no idea much about the album or about the story until I saw the stage show, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I have seen The Who a gazillion different times, but I did see the stage show of it, and what a great rock opera. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, great.
So, okay. So people want to know, this is the most important question. They want to know what's happening down in Washington Township. Is it gravy or sauce?
So I'm a diplomat, right?
Mm-hmm.
I grew up, it's gravy when there's meat involved.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was younger. We always had, pork or brajol or meatballs. It's gravy. Now, if you want to make a marinara sauce, then it's a sauce, right? Roast beef has gravy because it's made with meat. So a sauce does not have meat, but the gravy does. And we've always had gravy on Sunday, so it was pasta and gravy.
Yep. Yeah. So it's the same thing, and that kind of solves the the red gravy debate. If it has meat in it, it's gravy. If it doesn't, it's sauce. It's that easy. So, but it's funny. But out of South Philly, I know your family's South Philly and all.
The only thing that's wrong is they call bolognese sauce, right? It's not sauce. It's got meat in it. It's got a bunch of meat in it, so that should be gravy.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. But that that's the most pressing thing. And then after Dom Giordano's show, I follow him. I got to go with it. Now, Riccioli, he says it's sauce, but what does he know? He's originally North Jersey guy. He's met a guy, But anyway, it is what it is. So, but
when it comes in a jar, it's sauce.
It's sauce. That's true. That's true. So, well, we are in Little South Philadelphia, or South Philadelphia South, Washington Township, Gloucester County, which you are the mayor of, and I'm going to give you a proper introduction now, and it leads into some of the stuff that I talk about. So, in Gloucester County, Washington Township is the largest municipality. We just a little over 50,000 people or so, and I always talk on the show about anybody can get involved, normal people. I'm just a normal, everyday guy that got involved and had enough. And Mayor, you're the epitome of that too. You weren't a political guy. You just thought that the town was kind of going the wrong way, and you wanted to get involved. And so you ran for council in 2020, and you won, which was great. And then in 2024, you ran for mayor, and you won mayor of Washington Township in Gloucester County. And, you flipped that seat from a Democrat that held it for 25 years. And again, you're not really a political guy. And so tell us, first off, your experience from 2020 to 2024, and then now being the mayor, and tell us about the great things that are happening in Washington Township. And I live there, so if I'm having a hard time, I'm calling you directly, and I would not be saying this on the air. But really, you have turned the town around, and I appreciate it. So let our listeners know how a regular guy got involved in what you're doing now for Washington Township.
Absolutely. So back in 2020, I knew nothing. I was actually, believe it or not, I was registered as an independent. I wasn't into politics. I knew where I leaned. I knew where my values were, which is definitely on the Republican side. But I just didn't get involved. Politics was just something that didn't pertain to me. And in 2020, Vince Minelli decided he wanted to run for mayor, and I was serving on a school board with him, and he told me he was running for mayor, and I said, anything you need, Vin, I'll help you. He's like, well, I need a councilman. And I said, okay, what's that? Because I didn't even know what a councilman was.
Right.
He explained it to me. I went home, I told my wife. She laughed. She thought it was funny that I even thought about it. And, and I thought about it. I said, it's no different than me. At the time, I think I was coaching 2 soccer teams, a baseball team, and a basketball team. It's no different than me volunteering, helping a team, an organization. I'm volunteering to help my town. So I said, you know what? I want to get involved. Put my name on the ballot. I was lucky enough to win. And from there, I start learning my craft. I start learning, what it entailed, what it did. And I sat back, I collected the information. I didn't really overstep. I didn't come in like a wrecking ball. And I learned, and I saw the deficiencies in government. I see the issues I felt like I could make a difference with. And as time went on, I was able to make some changes, but I also realized as a councilman, I was limited to what changes I can make. So when 2024 was approaching, I sat back, and the old adage is, it's the juice worth the squeeze. And I said, I'm putting 40, 50 hours a week in, especially since Councilman Deverello got in on 22. I mean, we were tied at the hip, 40 to 60 hours a week. But there was a lot of things, we were trying to move our town forward that we just couldn't sitting in the seats we were in. So I decided to put all on the line. I was up for re-election anyway, so it was all or nothing. And, thank you to you and the rest of the team, who helped me through that campaign season. And, yeah, we won the mayor's seat that hasn't been a Republican held for 25 plus years. And it's been great. I got to tell you, it's been great. It is the South Philly with grass. A lot of people I went to high school and grade school live out there. And I truly love our town. I mean, I was the first to move out of all my brothers and sisters. I was the baby of the family. All my brothers followed. My parents followed. All my nieces and nephews lived there. I felt I owed it to them just as much as I owed it to me and my family to make our town the best it could be. And, I was fortunate enough to have the residents have their faith in me. And here I am.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job. And you did touch on one thing, too. So I have to say something about the Washington Township Republican Organization, which I am the chairman of, but it's a great organization. It's the people, it's the committee members, it's the club members, and they were very instrumental, and also to getting the word out about yourself. You make it look easy when we have good candidates as yourself and Peter there too. But I do have to say about it, they really did help get the word out and help you get elected. But you're doing a great job, which also makes it look easy for us too. Everybody says, Steve, how come you're so successful in Washington Township? I said, good candidates, good committee members, good club members. That's basically what it comes down to. So,
but I think it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Without the strong personalities that need all the credit, right? I mean, all of us working together as a team during the election, everybody kind of knew where they fit the best, where they were most successful. I can't do my job without having a great team around me during the campaign and now as mayor. I mean, I'm surrounded by a lot of great people that helps me be successful. I wouldn't be successful without having great people around me. And our organization is second to none. I mean, there was never a time we didn't have people there volunteering their time away from their family, whether it be phone calls or doing marketing materials or making phone calls. I mean, we have a great organization of, nobody's ego gets in the way. It's just, what do we need to do to get it done? And, I was lucky to be surrounded by such great people.
Yes. And I thank you for that. And you guys do a great job up there too. So talking about a great job, I just had Senator Chiver on from District 8, state senator from District 8, and he got out of the voting session for the budget in Trenton. So they have, it has to be approved by July 1st. And, I asked him how much it was, and it's like $66 billion. So if you could explain to our listeners what happens, for a municipality of our size, with Trenton, what dollars come to us, and if any, and then also, is there any help from Trenton at all? I know the school's a big problem for us, but is there any help from Trenton at all? And I know it affects our municipality budget because we're not sure what the state's going to give us.
Well, it doesn't affect our budget directly as per se on our annual budget. So our budget for 2026 has already been passed. It's already done, secured, and already operating. The school budget, obviously, they get state funding, and I believe last year they were cut drastically, which hurt them a lot, which again hurts our residents. It hurts us a lot with grants.
Right.
We rely on state grant money for whether it's our road programs or any infrastructure programs or stormwater management is one of the biggest things in New Jersey now. So all those grants, they are getting taken off the table. One of the things I actually went to our state local state senator and assembly, and this year I was asking for some money for our Washington Lake Park. It's the largest municipal-owned park in New Jersey. It's about 330 acres. And we lack lighting. And I want to do, all new lights throughout the park with safety call boxes. We want to honor our veterans by putting flags on the poles. And I had asked our senator and assemblyman for a grant to help me get that done.
Mm-hmm.
They were supportive, but they don't know if they can even secure me $1 with the budget. They said there may be no money at all available from the state for these projects. They put it in their budget. They asked, but they don't know if anything's going to be available for us this year.
That's sad because, Mikey Sherrill, the governor, just gave $20 million to protect illegal aliens in our state that have committed crimes. So it's amazing. I mean, listen, you don't need $20 million for lighting, but I'm sure a few $100,000 would go an awful long way. And this is the difference between good government and bad government. So, and I talk to you all the time, Mayor, about good government, and you're governing good. So talking about Washington Lake Park, tell our listeners about, a project that you got involved with and now is coming to fruition about the special needs area in our Washington Lake Park for a playground.
Yeah, so I believe it's around 2022, 2023. Me and Councilman Zabarello, we toured one of the local schools, and they were telling us how their autistic classroom got on a bus, drove about 15 to 17 miles away to go to this playground in Cherry Hill. It was called Jake's Place, which is an inclusive playground. And it had me thinking of, we're the largest town in Gloucester County, and we have the largest municipal park in New Jersey, and we don't have a facility like this for our own residents. So I got with a local resident who's Nicole Iannuti, who's a friend of mine. Her daughter went to school with my kids in preschool. Her daughter has special needs, and it was something that it's been her wish to have done. She's been trying to do it for 6-8 years prior, and it never really came to fruition. So we put our heads together. A grant came across one of my emails. We applied for the grant. We got $750,000 from the state for that playground. Mm-hmm. The build was about $1.1 million, and then the state, through their grant program, gave us the other $450 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So that's where the state money comes back to us. So that $450 came to us. So the full build was a zero cost dollars to the direct municipal budget and taxpayers. It was done by grants, and we are currently building it as we speak. And we're eyeing a July 1st, hopefully opening. And it's going to be phenomenal. It's all inclusive. Kids with special needs, kids without special needs. There's a pour in place surface, so wheelchairs, walkers, they can get around. There's plenty of shade. That way, if they're in medicine, they can't be in the sun. There's places to sit. It's a picnic area. We run electric. That way, if anybody's in an electric wheelchair, they could charge their wheelchair while they're there. We have ADA bathroom being put in. I mean, it's really a state-of-the-art program, but it's definitely a need in our town. And putting it at Washington Lake Park couldn't have been a better location.
Yeah, that's great. I know the residents are very psyched for it. And it was amazing, too, that Gloucester County, as large as it is, didn't have one of these. So it's only proper that the largest municipality will have this all-inclusive playground, which is, again, good government. We don't care, Republican, Democrat, Independent, not registered. This was a need, and, the mayor and council fulfilled this. I'm going to shift gears on you a little bit because the state senator Tiver touched on this with school funding. And I think a lot of our residents, even in Gloucester County or in Washington Township, don't understand, how the schools are funded. And also, they get the bill you guys collected, the tax for Washington Township, but that doesn't go to us. It's not a municipal tax. So, if you could explain to our listeners what percentage of our tax bill actually is for school funding.
So in round numbers, if your taxes are $10,000 a year, mm-hmm. about $5,500 goes to the school district. About $2,000 comes to the municipality. About $2,000 goes to the county, and then the other $500 is split up between the fire department, library, open space. But the caveat a lot of people don't realize is out of that $2,000 that the municipality gets, we supply your police department, which is a big part of our budget. Right? Our community safety is very important. But the rest of it is your trash, your leaves, your roads, your parks. And people understand that. When we had that bad ice storm back in January, I can't tell you how many phone calls I got and people yelling at me that, well, I paid $12,000 in taxes. Well, if you break out how much actually goes to public works of your $12,000, you're probably talking about $800. So for $800, you're getting your leaves, your snow, your trash, your roads, your street lights. Like that's what you're getting for measly $800. But people don't see that. They just see what that bill is that they're paying every month, not realizing that we're giving the services we can with minimal amount of that money.
Right.
And that's our job. Our job is to make sure the services are adequate with taking as little as possible.
Yeah. And it's a shame that the state can't get their act together with the school funding because, they took, money away from us. So the school board, the only way they can recoup that is to charge the citizens. And unfortunately, the mayor and the council gets blamed for that, where it's really not that way. And, I'm going to go back to 2025 and, Jack Chitterley had ran on, he had a school funding formula that was fair, that would literally lower taxes for everyone, school taxes for everyone in New Jersey. But unfortunately, the voters didn't listen and they stayed home, and it just didn't turn out that way. And here we are stuck again with a heavy increase for school taxes in Washington Township and throughout New Jersey. It's just not our municipality. But I'm going to praise you a little bit and talk about, our increases in taxes are very minimal this year compared to our surrounding towns. I heard Gloucester Township, I know that it's per dollar, a penny per dollar, but I think they were in the 20s or 30 cents per hundred. And some other Deptford was way up there, 15, 17 cents. And while Washington Township, if you could tell our listeners where we're at, going to come out in Washington Township, I don't want to get the wrong number.
It was around 6 cents, and most of it, we believe in transparency as our administration, and we laid out exactly where it was going. Healthcare was a big increase. Electric, people feel it at their house. Well, the municipality feels it with our street lights and our traffic lights and our buildings and everything else. So the electricity killed us. The 2 storms, set us back. So there was a lot of things that were everything was beyond our control. And then one of the things we did do this year in our budget is, we believe in being proactive instead of reactive, is we green-lighted a new police station for our police department. Our police department building has been there since the 60s. The jail cells are non-compliant. The roof is leaking. Our backup generator does not work. So if our power goes out, we're not even operating. And, with the state forcing us, through the Mount Laurel Act to build all these new homes and affordable homes and, our town booming, well, we got to make sure that our infrastructure is in place to be prepared. Last thing we want to do is be scrambling around unprepared, trying to catch up and chase, what's coming rather than be prepared. So in our budget, that was included as well, to green light that. And we're hoping to break ground in spring of next year on the new police department.
Oh, that's great. And I know the residents are really happy about that, and the police department, and security and safety is actually one of the most, requests that I get when people, come and talk to me about candidates and all. They said, are they pro-police? And I said, yes, they are. Well, Mayor, I really appreciate your time and tying this into the senator's call. We brought it over to the bridge to New Jersey, and I just want to give our listeners that an average everyday person, you're a small business owner, you're in construction, you got a family, the whole thing. You're just a regular, normal guy that got involved and is making a difference. And I really appreciate you calling in. And, have a great weekend. And I'll probably talk to you tomorrow anyway. So, but Mayor, thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you. And good luck with the show. It's been awesome. I love listening to you. And now I'm honored to be a part of it. So keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And listeners, that was Mayor Anthony Delapilla from Washington Township, New Jersey, Gloucester County. And, it's my hometown. I wanted to bring my hometown mayor on. And they're really doing a great job. Him and the council members are doing a fantastic job. So I do have to take a break. Thank you for listening. You've been listening to the afternoon show on 1210 WPHT with your host today, Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni. We're going to come back after a short break. Don't go anywhere.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. They still gave me a medal. I don't want a reward for doing. I want a reward for dominating. Like Daily Prize Matcher on Bet365. I play for free and win real rewards, like up to $5,000 in cash weekly. unlike that joker in denim. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply.
They say everything's better in the summer. I say everything's better down the shore in the summer. Hey, it's Rich Zioli. If you haven't booked your summer getaway yet, what are you waiting for? Book a July midweek stay at my happy place, the beautiful oceanfront Grand Hotel in Cape May, New Jersey, and save. Stay 3 nights, get $60 a night in resort credits. 5 nights get you $70 a night, and 7 nights get you $80 a night in resort credits. You can use those credits on food and beverages at Hemingway's Restaurant and Bar, the outdoor pool bar, beach concession stand, or the gift shop. Take the kids on a whale watching boat cruise. And when you're planning your summer escape, don't miss July 4th weekend. Make unforgettable memories by the ocean and celebrate our nation's 250th birthday in a truly grand way. Independence Day weekend rooms are filling up fast, so reserve yours today by going to grandhotelcapemay.com. Always book direct with them for the best rates, and to get those resort credits, it's giving you money back to spend at the resort. grandhotelcapemay.com, grandhotelcapemay.com.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
D&K Appliances is a family-owned and operated business for 3 generations located in Newtown Square and Flowertown. D&K Appliances offers one-stop shopping, providing delivery, installation, and service of top brands like GE, Thermador, Wolf, Bosch, Speed Queen, KitchenAid, and Whirlpool for your kitchen or laundry. D&K Appliance sales associates are industry experts, supporting customers every step of the way. Visit D&K Appliances, the dependable difference. Newtown Square and Flowertown showrooms, or visit DKappliances.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of adults, both men and women, suffer from varicose or spider veins. And this is not just a cosmetic problem. If left untreated, varicose veins can lead to severe swelling, cramping, heavy bleeding, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, permanent paralysis, and worst case, blood clots, which can be life-threatening. But here's the good news. USA Vein Clinics offer plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up the problem. And the procedure is fast and simple. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-809-7989. That's 800-809-7989. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your varicose vein problems will not go away on their own. Call USA Vein Clinics today for free information on fast and easy solutions covered by most insurance, including Medicare. Call 800-809-7989. That's 800-809-7989. Call 800-809-7989 today.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh yeah, strangers. We don't have strangers. We have our regular listeners here in the YouTube chat, listening to the afternoon show on the 1210 WPHT with your host Steve Pakradooni. We are going to be up against a hard break at 5 o'clock here. So real quick, we got a caller. We got Stan from Newport. Hey Stan, what's happening?
Not much, Steve. How you feeling?
I'm living a dream here. I'm, Philadelphia, loving the freedom. This is a complete dream for me, too, to be actually broadcasting on the air. I hope you're enjoying the show.
I am, and I'm used to seeing you actually down in Washington Township at the office. So, when we're down there trying to get signatures and things. I heard the mayor that you were just talking to from Washington Township, your mayor, and you guys were talking about last year with Jack Citarelli and the fact that, that you said that there should have been more people who came out and voted. But didn't we actually have a record number of people who showed up for the Republicans last year?
We did. Actually, Jack received more votes than any Republican ever has in the state. But unfortunately, is still 48% of the Republicans stayed home.
My dilemma there is that the Democrat voting bloc was convinced that, they were going to have their entitlements taken from them, whether it be, their food, or their money. So they basically showed up in droves. These are people who normally wouldn't vote, because they were scared into the fact that we as Republicans were going to keep that from them, and that wasn't really true. So, and this year with the line issues with any of the candidates in New Jersey or Republicans trying to deal with the line issues that Andy Kim and Ed Durr actually was part of that, because that's why as Republicans we lost the line. He actually was the person who conjoined with the actual lawsuit to take the line away in New Jersey. And now, you have people who win the actual elections who really only won 3 counties committees. Yeah, that's it's not something that bodes well with the way that we do politics in New Jersey.
Yeah. No, I understand, Stan. And thank you for the call. I am up against the hard break here, Stan. And I can talk a little bit more about that local line and stuff with Andy Kim and everything. I'll explain to our listeners there. But you have been listening to the afternoon show. Your host, Steve Pakradooni, Pakradooni on 1210 WPHT. Drive at 5 is coming up. Hang in there.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hi, this is Dave Barlow from Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury, New Jersey. Baseball season is heating up, and so are the savings here at Barlow. The All-Star Buick GMC lineup is waiting for you. Leading off, the powerful GMC Sierra, built to knock expectations out of the park and be the MVP of every road trip. Visit Barlow Buick GMC this summer, where honest pricing and dedicated service are always part of the lineup, or shop 24/7 at barlowautogroup.com. Buick, exceptional by design. GMC, we are professional grade.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. The Trump administration is defending the signed memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran. Along with the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, Iran could get access to unfrozen funds if they keep to the deal and rebuild. Vice President J.D. Vance called it an important win for the region.
Iran is weakened, their nuclear program destroyed, their economy in desperate straits, and if they change their behavior, big things are going to happen for Iran and for the world. If they don't, no skin off our backs. Either way, we win.
GOP Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana called it the worst foreign policy blunder in decades. ABC's Selena Wang has more reaction.
There's actually bipartisan concern that this deal gives a lot of wins to Iran. In fact, this is not a final agreement even. This is a framework of a deal that gives 60 days to hammer out that final agreement. And when it comes to what Iran gets from this, the U.S. will lift that naval blockade, allow Iran to immediately resume selling oil, which is a big win for Iran because that lifts major economic pressure from Iran.
In Chicago, crowds gathered for the dedication ceremony of the Obama Presidential Center. Former President Barack Obama says as America marks its 250th anniversary, he hopes the center is a reminder of how precious democracy is and will renew American civic duty.
When we stop believing that voting matters, that citizenship matters, that our collective voices matter, that how we treat each other no longer matters, then we give away our power to decide our own futures.
Former Presidents Biden, Bush, and Clinton, along with former First Ladies, attended the ceremony. The center opens to the public tomorrow. In New York City, it was a parade for the ages. Fans celebrated the New York Knicks NBA championship win. New York officials estimate 2 million turned out for the ticker tape parade. You're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the Secret War on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
I'm Lindsay Davis. For the latest on today's headlines, be sure to watch Prime tonight, starting at 7 Eastern on ABC News Live. Now with more news, here's Michelle Franzen.
The risk of life-threatening flooding continuing in the Central Gulf and Southeast today. Areas could receive more than 6 inches of rainfall an hour. The head of Apple warning that purchasing their products could soon be taking a bigger bite out of the wallet. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
CEO Tim Cook says customers should expect price hikes, telling the Wall Street Journal they're unavoidable. Cook did not say when the increases will take place or on which products they'll affect, but he did tell the Journal the upcoming price hikes are being caused by an ongoing shortage of memory and storage chips.
Waymo recalling thousands of its self-driving vehicles, all because the software may send the cars where they shouldn't be driving.
4,000 Waymo vehicles running the 5th-generation automated driving system are being recalled because the software might cause the self-driving vehicles to go through closed construction zones. According to a recall report, the vehicle might enter and drive at speed in freeway construction zones because the cars are failing to recognize the construction zones, or the cars are prioritizing avoiding other freeway hazards. Waymo first identified the problem after 6 incidents in Phoenix, and later there were 7 more in San Francisco. Waymo is currently working on a remedy and has restricted its vehicles from freeway driving.
ABC's Alex Stone. On Wall Street today, stocks were mixed. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia, from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now, The Drive at 5. 30 minutes of nonstop talk from Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Oh, yeah. Freedom. Freedom. Hour number 3. Still standing. Still full of energy on the afternoon drive time now. We got it here. 1210 WPHT. Your host, Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni. Man, we have just been everywhere today. We've been to Philadelphia. We've been over to Jersey. We've been talking national. We've been talking about trillionaires. And on the line, we have a guy that knows a little bit about finance and trillionaires. And we have Dr. Michael Bustler on the phone. And he's a professor of finance and finance program chair at Stockton University. So it's funny, maybe he was an adjunct professor. I work on junk. So, we have something in common here. You guys keep throwing me these guys with these big titles, and you got the auto mechanic talking to the doctor of finance. So, Michael, are you there on the line?
I'm right here listening to all this.
Fantastic, doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much
Surely.
for calling in.
Yeah.
So I am so happy that we have an expert now, because I opened the show talking a little bit about, Elon being a trillionaire. I think it's a good thing. I hope I get his auto repair contracts, but I don't think that's going to happen. But so please tell us, how does him being a trillionaire hurt the little guy? Is that possible?
The answer is it doesn't hurt the little guy. Look, why is he a trillionaire? In our economy, an individual is paid according to the value of their contribution. So if you make a large contribution to the economy, you end up doing very well. And that's exactly what Elon Musk has done. Look at everything he has. He has a Starlink internet system with satellites all over the world. And if you get one of his antennas, you can pick up the internet anywhere in the world. I have a buddy who's he goes deep sea fishing 75 miles out. He watches football games while he's fishing out there because you can get his internet everywhere. Every time a country, the government turns off the internet, he turns on Starlink. That's a huge contribution that he's making, and as a result, he gets paid for that. Look, the U.S. wants to send people to the moon and eventually further. So forever, NASA had rockets that cost tens of millions of dollars, maybe more. Shoot them up, send a capsule into space, and then the rocket falls down, and you have to throw it away. He has a rocket you shoot, and he comes down and lands. You can use it over and over again. That's going to considerably reduce the cost of sending someone into space. Huge contribution. Elon Musk owns a percentage of Tesla. So he really started the electric car revolution. Now, a lot of companies make them now, but he's the one that started this. Huge contribution. So whenever you make a large contribution to the system, you get paid well. His net worth is over $1 trillion now. Frankly, I would like to see as many trillionaires as possible, because that means that they made huge contributions to the economy. Jeff Bezos worth, a few $100 billion. Why is he worth so much? He changed the whole supply chain and retailing. He used to have to go to a store to buy something, takes a lot of time and effort. Now you go online, you click what you want, the next morning it's on your doorstep. Completely disrupted the way people purchase goods. He's got hundreds of millions of users that have benefited from what he does, and as a result, he's worth hundreds of billions of dollars. The more trillionaires we get, the more people will have made huge contributions to the economy, and that just makes everybody's life better. Let me say one other thing. I heard Adam Schiff today say it's not fair that Musk is a trillionaire and there's so many people who have trouble putting food on the table. Well, the two are not mutually exclusive. So Musk made his contributions and he got paid for it. Everybody else can do the same thing. I mean, that's pretty hard to do that, but everybody else can increase their contribution to the system and get paid more. This is a good thing, and it shows young people that I don't know if you ever be a trillionaire, but there's opportunities in the economy. Take a chance, find a need in the marketplace that has to be fulfilled, figure out how to profitably fulfill that, and you'll get rewarded very greatly. So this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
I couldn't agree with you more. I've been saying that over and over and over again. I just don't understand the mindset, especially of our elected officials. But there's a lot of other people I know, too, that for some reason, I don't know if they're jealous or whatever, but they feel like even if they work for these companies, like, oh, well, you know, the CEO's making all this money and I'm doing all the work. It's not exactly it's not exactly like that. And it's even being in a small business as myself, my employees, over the years, I've had a couple that they've actually said that. They're like, and they wind up making more money than me, believe it or not. In small business, it's a little tougher, but they had that mindset. So I'm going to backtrack on you a little bit. So the Starlink that Elon Musk has made, so there's no taxpayer dollars, right? We never paid for Starlink, right? And
no,
right, and and it's super expensive, and poor people can't afford it, right? Or am I wrong on that one?
I don't think Starlink is that expensive. I just happened to look at Best Buy, and I think it's only a few $100s to buy the antenna, and if you want someone to install it, it might be a couple $100 more. The monthly fees to use it, I know, are relatively low.
Yes.
So this Starlink will improve the lives of other people, and that's exactly what we want. We want entrepreneurs to come up with ideas and innovations that make the quality of life better for everybody. And just because somebody made it, it doesn't mean he took money away from somebody else. He made it on his own. Everybody has the opportunity to contribute more, or they should find the opportunity to contribute more to the economy, and then you'll come out with more income also. So this is a good thing, not a bad thing. We should encourage as many of these as possible. Now, Adam Schiff says, well, you have $1 trillion. If you gave everybody, you could give everybody in the country, I think he said $3,000, and you'd still have money left over. So, but the thing is, he earned that money, and it's his. It's not the government's. It's his. He pays a very high tax rate on income that large. The federal tax rate is 37%.
Wow.
So they take more than 1/3 of what you earned. I live in New Jersey, so if Musk lived in New Jersey or California, he'd have to pay a state income tax, could be as high as 8 or 9%. I think in California could be as high as 13%. Then he pays property taxes, got a big house, I'm sure, pays property taxes on that. Again, in New Jersey, you have to pay almost a 7% sales tax on virtually everything you buy. How much more money can they take from people? So just to say, well, he's got a lot of money, but it's his money.
Right.
You have a right to it. Right. Now we're trying to be fair with everybody, and Musk pays. I don't know how much he pays in taxes, but he pays a whole lot, and all of these wealthy people do. The top 1% of income earners pay over 20% of all the taxes. The top 20% of income earners pay 80% of all federal income tax. The bottom 50% of income earners pay next to nothing. So I think the system is more than fair. I think it even goes against the wealthy, but it's fair. The other thing is, when we're looking at going into big ventures where you need a lot of capital, you need people who have accumulated capital. So Elon Musk accumulated enough capital to build his spaceships. Jeff Bezos has a JetBlue or something, not JetBlue, Blue something he calls it, but that took huge amounts of capital to get that started. If we discourage trillionaires and billionaires, we're going to lose that capital formation, and that's going to slow the economy down.
That's true. So I did a little research. Elon Musk's companies spend about or pay about $20 million weekly in payroll taxes. Weekly in payroll taxes. And, you know, it's funny that people say, oh, he doesn't pay any taxes. It's not true. Now, listen, the funny part about it is a guy like Schiff, you said the S word, you know, he's the guy that, you know, made the laws. They voted the laws. It's just like President Trump had said, if you're not happy with the tax codes that you voted on, change them.
Change it.
Change
Exactly.
it. But they won't.
Exactly.
They won't. And it's just, it really bothers me so much that, you know, this guy has literally provided so much income for so many people across the world. And I think it's great. Go buy another boat. You know, listen, in New Jersey where we live, you know, there's Viking yachts. Go buy a Viking yacht. It helps my customers. It helps, you know, it helps people send kids to Stockton, right? So
exactly. Exactly.
It blows my mind. I just don't understand it. And, you know, I opened the show with two saying, like Elizabeth Warren and AOC of Bernie Sanders. You know, just imagine, you know, if they were around when the Industrial Revolution started, imagine what they would have did to Ford and the Dodge brothers, Milton Hershey. We'd be in big trouble. I mean, it's crazy. So, you know, so basically what you're telling me is that Americans are not worse off, like the narrative that's being pushed out there by the Democrats and the mainstream media, because Elon Musk is a trillionaire.
No, they're much better off. And I'll tell you, the Democrats keep saying how bad things are in the country. Something very interesting. So we're having the FIFA tournament, the soccer tournament here, people from all over the world coming. Every time I pick up a newspaper or look at some news, there's the people from Ireland thinking what a great place this is. Somebody from Germany goes out at night and eats at the Waffle House, and he thinks that's a great thing. And I hear these people saying to themselves, why are they saying America is such a bad place? This is great here.
Yeah.
So the whole narrative the mainstream media and the Democrats are pushing is completely wrong. We should be very positive here. We're celebrating a 250th birthday. And, you know, the U.S. went from the birth of a nation to the largest, most prosperous economy in the world in about 150 years.
Right.
Other countries were hundreds, thousands of years older. So the system we have here works. And let me just say one other thing. There are four things that our system encourages. One, we encourage individual freedom. As long as you don't infringe upon the rights of anybody, you can pretty much do what you wanted. Secondly, we encourage individual responsibility. As long as you're mentally and physically able to take care of yourself, everybody should take care of themselves. Now, of course, you have family and things to help. Thirdly, we have relatively low rates of taxation. And as long as that happens, someone knows if I take a chance and I happen to make it and make some money, I'm going to be able to keep most of what I earned. And fourthly, we have we're supposed to have a limited role for government. Mm-hmm. Government provides certain public goods, defense of the country, a legal system, et cetera. But as the economy, as the U.S. grew from birth, the government pretty much stayed out of the way. So individual freedom, individual responsibility, low rates of taxation, and a limited role for government made this country great. And as long as we follow those principles, we'll continue to be great.
Absolutely, Doctor. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm up against a break. I really appreciate your time and calling in and telling us all this. And the next time I'm on, hopefully we can talk a little longer. How can our listeners find out more about you?
So I write weekly column for Newsmax. And if you want to see all of my columns, I post them on Facebook. Just search for Funding Democracy. So on Facebook, search for Funding Democracy. You'll see every one of my columns I've written in the last 10 or 15 years. And if you want to follow me, that would be great.
Fantastic, Doctor. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. We're up against a break here. You've been listening to the Afternoon Show with Steve Pakradooni, Pac-Man, here as your host today on 1210 WPHT. We'll catch you right after the break.
Calling on East Greenville to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it today.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
My obstructive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy kept me from baseball games with my boys. The stairs were too much. With Camzyos, my symptoms have improved and I can be more active again. Camzyos is a cardiac myosin inhibitor, the first in its class to treat adults with symptomatic OHCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and ability to be active, and it reduced obstruction in the heart 4 times more.
In a 30-week study, Camzyos, mavacamten, reduced post-exercise obstruction on average 47 units of pressure versus 10 with placebo. Results may vary. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help for new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy, as Camzyos may harm your unborn baby.
Visit Camzyos.com or call 1-855-CAMZYOS. Actor Portrayal.
You matter, and so does your well-being. If you're facing tough moments, struggling with anxiety, depression, thoughts of suicide, or substance use, help is here anytime you need it. Call, text, or chat 988 for free confidential support. New Jersey's 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here 24/7 for you or someone you love, with trained counselors who listen and care without judgment. You matter. Remember New Jersey's 988. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
King Shooter Supply in King of Prussia is your complete one-stop gun store with 2 indoor shooting ranges, training and lessons, and gunsmiths on site. They buy, sell, and trade firearms and NFA-regulated items too. King Shooter's experienced staff and certified trainers can help you with all your needs. Check out the calendar of monthly events on Facebook and Instagram, and feel free to stop in 7 days a week. King Shooter Supply in King of Prussia. KingShooters.com. KingShooters.com.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a
I
cold
want to be
day.
a football
I want to be a
stadium.
bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of adults, both men and women, suffer from varicose or spider veins. And this is not just a cosmetic problem. If left untreated, varicose veins can lead to severe swelling, cramping, heavy bleeding, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, permanent paralysis, and worst case, blood clots, which can be life-threatening. But here's the good news. USA Vein Clinics offer plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up the problem. And the procedure is fast and simple. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-809-7989. That's 800-809-7989. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your varicose vein problems will not go away on their own. Call USA Vein Clinics today for free information on fast and easy solutions covered by most insurance, including Medicare. Call 800-809-7989. That's 800-809-7989. Call 800-809-7989 today.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Oh, yeah, Frankie Valli. Great stuff. There's another Philadelphia guy, right? He's a Philadelphia guy, isn't he? Pretty sure about that. Definitely. Grease is the word. What a movie. That was a great movie. Love that movie. Grease Lightning. And then John Travolta, when he did the Christmas commercial this year as Santa with that. It was great. It's funny. A lot of the younger kids didn't quite get the, they didn't get the joke on that one because they didn't see Grease, but what a great movie.
Have you seen John Travolta recently?
Yeah, he blimped up a little bit.
He's got a weird look going on.
Yeah. So I don't have much to talk about, but but when you got his kind of money, you can look any way you want, I guess, right? But from Barbarino to all his roles, he's a great actor too. So, but yeah, Grease was great. Grease Lightning. I can relate to the auto shop, the whole thing. It was really great, but good stuff here in Philadelphia because we're live at studio of the afternoon show, the drive time, WPHT 1210 AM. Your host today has been Steve Pakradooni, and we've covered so much stuff today. I wanted to get into the Philadelphia, I wanted to get into New Jersey, and we're going to talk a little bit about. I really didn't want to do it, but there's so much information on Iran. And I just want to bring this out there, and I can understand why certain people are upset with the agreement and why certain people aren't. But if we really get back down to the nitty-gritty of it and how President Trump has handled foreign countries, we don't want to take them over. We don't want to occupy them. We don't do anything. He had to remove the threat of them having a nuclear weapon. And I know we keep saying, oh, they said they were 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away. They shouldn't have an ounce of enriched uranium. And basically that's what happened. And the president saw an opportunity. He took that out. But he always said that was the goal. The goal was to make sure they didn't have a nuclear weapon. Anything else is on them. Who are we to say they can't sell their oil? Who are we to say they can't run their country that they want to? That's up to this, the citizens of it. Now, I understand it's a brutal regime, and hopefully that changes. The Middle East has been changing. He brokered deals with Israel and Palestine and Lebanon and all over, and it seems the peace has been holding. Iran was the last piece of the puzzle, but why don't we play Ben Shapiro, cut number 4 here, and I'm pretty sure I understand why Ben's a little upset, and this is a brilliant guy, but let's hear him talk, and I'm going to tell you my take on this one.
Say there, Ben.
Well, I've said many times, the president deciding to go into Iran and to hit nuclear facilities in Operation Midnight Hammer, and then to go after Iran's ballistic missile facilities, nuclear facilities, Army, Navy, and Air Force in this current operation was the signal act of political bravery, perhaps, of my lifetime. With that said, this MOU appears to be, just from the text, a disaster that does not achieve any of the actual signal goals that were set by the administration at the beginning. There were effectively 5 goals that were set by the administration at the beginning. One was ending the nuclear program, not just nuclear weapons, no nuclear enrichment, zero enrichment. That is not in the deal. Ballistic missiles ended. That is not in the deal. And the president today suggested that ballistic missiles should actually continue to be held
Can we stop
by the
that right
Iranians
there?
because the Saudis.
So I want to miss that point. Thank you. So 2 things, that Ben just said. Not in the deal is them enriching uranium. They don't have the capabilities to do it anymore. Why does it have to be in the deal? Because in their mind, they're going, well, we want to enrich uranium. Maybe they're going to use it for power. I don't know. But to me, leave it out of the deal. Who cares? They don't have the facilities to do it anymore. It's under thousands and thousands of pounds of rock in a mountain because we blew it to smithereens. The other thing about ballistic missiles, kind of not fair if the other countries around them have them and they don't have a way to defend themselves. They're still a sovereign country. And I get it. They're very aggressive. But I think what the president is doing with this agreement now is showing them, hey, why don't you have a little peace here? Don't attack your neighbors. Let your neighbors police you, sell your oil, and become prosperous, just like all the other countries around them. In the Middle East before, they were all radical, and they have changed over the years. I think Dubai, I could be wrong on this. I'm not an expert on it, but I think 50 years ago it didn't exist, and now look at it. So I understand what Ben's saying, and he's not happy because, they keep attacking Israel, but I don't think they're going to do that anymore. I really don't think they are. And if they do it, they're very foolish because they don't have a military anymore, and then they'll be wiped out. But let's hear a little bit more about what Ben had to say.
Ballistic missiles. Then you have the support of terrorism. That is not part of the deal. Anything that looks like an attempt to end terrorism. A permanent opening of the Strait of Hormuz toll-free. Not only is that not in the deal appears to have a provision allowing Iran and Oman to attempt to toll the strait after 60 days. And then finally, the idea that Iran would receive some sort of sanctions relief after all of those things happen. We are already seeing from day one relief in their ability to ship oil out of Iran. In my opinion, the Vice President of the United States, the chief negotiator on this particular project, has not well served the president.
Let's stop it right there. Do we really think that President Trump is allowing J.D. Vance to negotiate this on his own? Now, I'm going to ask the two smartest guys in the room right here, even though they are only two other guys in the room. Do you really think the president is allowing J.D. Vance to make these decisions without consulting, the administration?
I think when all is said and done, Donald Trump has final say, regardless of who's negotiating the terms of the deal.
Right. And and Ben's frustrations, I get it. He's Jewish. His country has been attacked over and over and over and over again, by radical Islam. And in his mind, the way to eliminate radical Islam is to remove it off the face of the planet. We can't kill all those people. You know what I mean? And, we're trying to remove their leaders, which I think is helping. And you just don't know. And we have to keep them under control. And I think President Trump is doing a good job of that. There's a lot of unknowns here, but I don't think it's the worst deal in the world. It's way better than what Obama had. And, let's see what happens. The one thing that we still hold the cards, we still can go back and hit them over and over and over again. If that's what they decide that they want, if that's what they want, fine. They've been playing a little nice. 47 years of terror is a little hard to end in a couple of days. So, the same thing, though, with Israel and Palestine. How long have they been killing each other? That fragile peace agreement seems to be holding. Don't hear much about it. I don't know. I could be wrong. So why don't we move to clip number 5 here and then let's hear what Vance has to say about the deal. We heard what Ben said. Let's see what J.D. Vance has to say about it.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Many of the colleagues that you served with in the U.S. Senate and Republican conference have criticized this deal over the last 24 hours. What is your message, Mr. Vice President, back to them?
So I guess I would say to anybody, any of the critics, is number one, have a little bit of faith in the President of the United States. The idea that he is going to strike a deal that's been bad for the American people, it's preposterous. He is the person who has had the courage to fundamentally transform our relationship with Iran and with a lot of other countries over the last year and a half. He believes in this deal. He is going to see it to completion. And if the Iranians don't comply, we still have every single tool and point of leverage that we have today. That'd be message number one.
Right there.
Is have a little faith in the president.
So the auto mechanic just said exactly what J.D. Vance said. We still hold all the cards. We have the tools. It's up to them. We're playing nice. It's funny. We were told that Trump was a dictator, that he was going to get us in World War III. He would just blow people off, up because he didn't like them. But I've never seen a guy act so diplomatic in my life. I mean, he's giving them a lifeline. Here we go. We have an agreement with you. We'll stop bombing you. You stop bombing us. You can get your country back together again. You can sell your oil. And let's see how it goes. That is diplomacy at its finest. And I hate to say it, and it's only because it's President Trump. And I understand I'm as one of his supporters. If Barack Obama did this deal, they'd be singing from the rooftops. They'd be giving him another Nobel Peace Prize. They'd be giving him the Nobel Peace Prize every single day for the rest of his life. But since it's President Trump, no, he gets nothing. And, I think he's okay with it because ultimately at the end of the day, he always said that he just wanted to make the world a better place, a safer place, and make America great again. Being in Iran, how does that make America great again? Well, it stops the threat of them having a nuclear weapon and the terrorism. I don't know. That's the way I see it. I don't know if everybody else sees it that way. I'm just taking it down to just, as low as it can go without all these crazy pundits saying all these things. To me, it makes sense. He is being very, very diplomatic here, as he has been with every other country that he's dealt with. So let's see what happens. I'm hoping beyond hope, and I'm praying that the Iranian leadership, gets the hint and says, okay, we're going to be a good neighbor in the Middle East, and we're going to be as successful as they are. So I'm hoping. Didn't want to spend a lot of time on Iran. That's my thoughts. You can always call in and tell me what you think your thoughts are on this one. Its number here is 855-839-1210. One thing Matt just sent me to, so they have to. The agreement doesn't mandate that Iran blend down their 11 tons of enriched uranium. First off, why does this country have 11 tons of enriched uranium? This is what we're talking about. They were close to a nuclear bomb, and they can enrich it up to 60%, which is short of bomb grade. Okay, all right. So don't make it that. The funny part about it too is there are a lot of, from my understanding, and it too that we are allowed to inspect at any time, any place. And we know the Iran, kind of really didn't let the inspectors go in before with the previous agreement. But I think President Trump will hold it to them. Now, remember, he's going to be out of office in 2 years, so I don't know what happens after that. But if it's 2 years of peace and it's 2 years of a different life for the Iranians, maybe they would like the peace and prosperity instead of, the radical Islam and the way they were living before. Who knows? We don't know. If right now the bombs aren't dropping, people aren't getting killed, our military members aren't at risk, to me, that's a win. And hopefully they see it the right way. So, anyway, I'm going to get off Iran. I'm going to go back to a Jersey thing. I saw a comment in here. I don't know when I have to break, guys, but I did make a mistake. I always get Frankie Avalon and Frankie Valli mixed up. Okay, Frankie Avalon's a South Philly guy. Frankie Valli, of course, was the North Jersey Sound, Jersey boys.
Pride of Newark.
Yeah. And I just get those guys mixed up all the time. But Frankie Valli is still performing. He's like 107, right?
He's sort of performing.
if we're calling that performing,
yeah.
But yeah,
yeah. But he's still out there. So, but it's great. So good stuff all the way around. Guys, do I have to break down? I'm going to be going a little off on the thing here. I could keep talking.
You can break here or you can keep going. Yeah, it's kind of up to you.
You got like 5 more minutes if you want.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? How about we take a little bit of break? I'll get my thoughts together. I want to move away from Iran. I want to get back to the important things that's happening here in Philadelphia. Soccer, it's huge. Now, I've watched it. You guys have it on the screen, so we're going to talk about that. But let's take a little break here. You've been listening to 1210 WPHT, the afternoon show with your host today, Steve Pac-Man Pakradooni. Short break. We'll be right back.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Some of these problems are easily correctable. We could see significant improvement. Nothing is ever absolute. Nothing could ever be 100% yada yada. But man, we could have so many different better things if we just had that same mentality of, oh, we're having guests, companies coming over. Let's get it together and make it look like we have our house in order. When we know Philadelphia as a city does not have their house in order.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Well, Lorenzo, the pitch looked good.
Yeah, so green.
USA keeper was decent enough.
Didn't have much to do.
99 minutes.
Not a single goal. Well, Bet365 sure came through, though. I bet $10 and got $365 in bonus bets just for signing up.
At least someone scored.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Autoimmune disease. Difficult to treat and even more difficult to diagnose. If you've had Lyme disease, post-Lyme, or any type of autoimmune disease, you probably know how difficult it is. That's why you should contact Dr. Molly Fantasia and the team at Innovative Medical Associates. Through their unique hydration protocols, Dr. Molly and her staff have helped hundreds navigate the difficult journey of autoimmune, Lyme disease, or post-Lyme. To set up the initial consultation, which is complimentary, call 856-489-0505. That's 856-489-0505. Or visit their website, innovativemedicalassociates.com, for additional information. Do what many others have done who have either been misdiagnosed or just led down a path to nowhere. Contact Innovative Medical Associates. That number again, 856-489-0505.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Free speech lives here with Kale and Company weekday mornings on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
The weekend, yes. It's coming up. Thursday is a new Friday, especially tomorrow. It's a holiday. It's Juneteenth. I've been around 60 years and don't know a whole lot about Juneteenth, but I know it's a federal holiday, and I'm looking forward to it. I got to work. You guys got to work?
We are off.
You're off.
Yes. Very excited about it.
And that's why I played that song. This is our last segment till, well, DeSantis is off.
I'm off till next
Wednesday.
Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Wow.
And I'm off till Monday.
Fantastic. That's great. Yeah, I'll be in work 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So. It's great the weekend, but Thursday is definitely the new Friday here in Philadelphia and New Jersey, of course. Coming into the station, you had to see the traffic backed up on 42. Man, it was bumper to bumper already. It's like Florida. I have a lot of friends in Florida. They literally stopped working about noon on Thursday, and I don't think anyone works Mondays in Florida. It's amazing. So, but it's great. So it's good.
And I do feel bad for everybody leaving the city tomorrow night, going down to the shore for the weekend because, like I said, I think it was yesterday, the World Cup is in Philadelphia tomorrow. There's a World Cup game, I think, at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
So people are going to be getting here early for their tailgating, and traffic is going to be an abomination.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty bad. Well, I don't know who's in tomorrow for the drive, but they're probably not going to be in studio. So it seems like I think I'm the only guy that comes in, right?
You know what? I think so. Barry Sable was in last week, but yeah, other than that, I can't remember the last time we had somebody. Oh, Tony.
Tony was in for 2 weeks. That was like
a month ago. Well, typically he's from Florida, obviously.
Yeah. But you're the most consistent person that
comes in,
that fills in on our show and is in studio.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that thing is just dusty until Nick comes in the morning.
Right. Still some unknown substances on this counter here.
Don't touch anything.
Right. It's just like I gotta go take a shower after I get out of here.
There's not enough Purell in the world to get you clean again.
Right. I had to organize the counter the last time I was in, but it's good stuff. But I love being in studio. I love coming over the bridge. I love Philadelphia. And, talking about soccer, I've been watching it. I can watch it in the glass on TV, so you guys have been watching a little soccer here. I have no idea what teams are playing or what's going on. But what I did notice is there's a lot of hugging in soccer. A lot of men hugging in soccer. I'm a little confused about that. Our American football, maybe there's a little bit more, slap of the butt stuff happening between guys. But whatever. A lot of guys will say a few things. I think Sean Ferris has mentioned, his feelings about soccer and which sexuality, the way the soccer players go. I don't know. I'm going to leave that one alone. But clearly the fans seem to be heterosexual because Club Risque's got all these deals going on again. So not quite sure about that. But I'm going to have to watch a little bit more of it. Here's what's going on there. This is like an instant replay of it. So because I'm just watching in the mirror here. I've been watching a little bit of Fox 2 going on. Some breaking news, nothing crazy, but actually we have something from CNN. Yes, I know, CNN, but this is really important news. It's breaking news, and it's coming out of D.C., and this is going to affect everyone's life. Let me tell you, Elon being a trillionaire, that's got nothing on this, because what's happening in Washington, D.C., that CNN put their best reporters on and did a whole segment on it. Why don't you play those clips, guys, so we can let our listeners know what the riveting news out of Washington, D.C. today.
And we're going to scoop up a water sample to see if we can get this tested.
CNN independently took the sample of water and consulted with a pool store that regularly tests water to help read the results. It showed phosphate levels far higher than what is recommended.
Let's hold it there. Hold there, because this is super important. The phosphate levels. Is it the drinking water in D.C.? Is that what they're testing? CNN? They broke a story on this. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. It's the reflecting pool water that they're testing. That's breaking news that they have to tell people that there's algae in this reflecting pool water. Now, they're giving the president a hard time because he's actually trying to clean up D.C. Now, imagine that. Imagine that. They're literally giving the president of the United States a hard time because he's trying to make our nation's capital look good for the tourists that are coming in for the soccer games, the normal summer tourists, the whole thing. I mean, come on, guys. This is the most important thing. And they're acting. Do you notice the tone in their voice, the reporter's voice? Let's play a little bit more of it.
based on estimates for a pool that holds 6.5 million gallons
Hold on.
of water.
6.5 million gallons. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why? I don't understand why this is so important to these people. It's really crazy that they're reporting on this. And it's just because they want to make the president look bad for something. I mean, listen, I've been to D.C. I've seen the reflecting pool. I've seen it with water, without water. Trust me, pigeons don't even go in there, okay? It's a scary place. But they're trying to fix it. And yes, when you have standing water, you're going to get some algae. And you're going to have the phosphates, because I have a pool. I understand what happens with all this other stuff. But is this really breaking news? I don't know how much more of this clip, but play a little bit more of it, because our listeners, it's important.
In the water. That's really opportunistic, especially for the blue-green algae that can fix nitrogen. So they are having a field day out here, probably.
The Department of Interior says they believe some of the initial problem was residual algae that had accumulated in pipes, and insists the filtration
Hold on one second. Hold on. We got to stop it here. So they're going to blame the Trump administration for the existing algae in, I don't know, how old is this thing? You know what I mean? 60, 70 years old, I guess. And they're going to blame them because of that. They don't mention, though, that they've been trying to clean this up. And they're doing a really good job of it. I know they were power washing monuments and fountains. And I'll say this, I've been to D.C. a bazillion times. I've won all kinds of tours. Sometimes the fountains worked. Sometimes the fountains didn't work. If you remember, when we were having the Summer of Love, you know, the crazy Antifa protesters who they, don't exist, graffitied everything imaginable. And I remember just going, even during the Obama administration, there was graffiti on certain monuments and stuff, and eventually they would clean them up. But it's crazy that they're reporting on this. This is the most important thing that CNN can report on. We have peace deals with Iran. We have, the stock market at record highs. The unemployment rate is basically flat, which is a good thing. In other words, what they're saying is we're not really adding any new jobs, but we're not losing any new jobs. We're not losing jobs. So the economy is in pretty good shape. Yes, the energy prices were a little high. They're coming down. Wages are up. I don't know. I go out on a Friday or Saturday night, go to a restaurant, and you can't get in because it's so busy. People are out and about. The traffic is showing that people are going to the shores. It's not bad. Things are great. It really, really is. Doing a good job, the president. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. You can disagree with me. But it's not that bad. I don't know if there's any more of this clip. How much more is left on this one?
Nah, that's it.
That's it. But
you can tell they're ready for the weekend.
Right. It's so funny that they just made it such a big deal, and that the tone of voice, like the phosphates. I'm like, oh my God, phosphates. I'm thinking it's in our national drinking water or something. If they would check the Schuylkill out, I'm scared to death. Listen, driving by and I was always scared like something's going to splash on your car and eat the paint off of it. But the reflecting pool, that he's just trying to fix it up. And I don't know if they're using taxpayer dollars. I know there were some donations and there was other things, but this again is something for our country. Put us first. Make these things look good. We spent all the money years ago to build them, and they're beautiful. If you haven't been to D.C., the monuments are unbelievable. We took a night tour, and that was even better when they're lit up. The Vietnam Memorial, it was beautiful. The Lincoln Memorial, of course. It's great. It's a great city, and I'm happy that the president, had the sense to say, hey, got to make it safe so people come. Peace and prosperity. That's the job of government, and he's actually doing a good job of it. So I'm getting real close to a break. And I want to say, again, this is a dream for me. Thank you for listening. If you like what you're hearing, email the station. Say, hey, we like Pac. And right after me, coming up, is going to be the Rich Cioli podcast. You're used to hearing Rich in this spot, but he's on 67 on the station. Check it out. Rich is an expert at this. He does a phenomenal job. Again, I am not Rich Cioli. I am not a professional at this, but it is a dream for me to be here. It's a dream for me to be in Philadelphia. I want to thank my producers. Guys did a great job over the last 2 days. Thank you so much. And hopefully, if you email Greg enough, I'm going to be back next week. So you've been listening to the afternoon show with your host today, Steve Pakradooni. I had a great time on WPHT 1210 AM. Everyone, have a great weekend.
Life doesn't slow down, and planning your financial future can feel overwhelming. That's where Monastra Financial Group comes in. Whether you're preparing for retirement, managing a 401k, or protecting what matters most, their team offers personalized guidance built around you. With a straightforward approach, they help turn complex decisions into clear, confident steps forward. Take control of your financial future today. Text Mike Monastra at 484-47